Welcome to the second installment of the Knights of Everflame, a special 8-part adventure to celebrate the launch of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm Jason Bulmahn, Director of Game Design at Paizo and one of the game's lead designers. I'll be your host and game master for this session, but before we begin, let's take a moment to introduce our players and their characters. We're going to start over here.
Oh. I'm Rachel Seeley. I'm playing the weirdo Linnaeus Lennon.
I'm Erika Fermina. I am playing Tariel Windhaven, your half-elf bard.
Hi, I'm Aki, and I am playing Liz Shorbuckle, your Wildwood Halfling Ranger. Hi, I'm Gina, and I'm playing your Dwarven Barbarian Omelette.
I'm Jeremy Stephen Walker. I'm playing Iculus, the champion. And my fellow knights gifted me with some lovely new dice. Thank you all.
Better.
Thank you. Thank
May
you.
these ones roll at least marginally better than the last.
Yes,
ones.
they
All
will.
right.
They will. I believe it.
When we last left our intrepid band of adventurers, 6 strangers were loaded on the back of a wagon bound for Lastwall. There you were set to be trained to serve as Knights of Lastwall. Your host for this journey was Lieutenant Andla Ellisand and her plucky dwarf companion, Private Carr. Together, the 8 of you began the long, arduous journey north. Shortly after departure, when stopping for the first night, Lieutenant Ellisand took you all out to test you, to see what you were made of. And she had you fight against a rather vicious earth elemental that, if I recall correctly, tried to drive Iculus down into the ground like a spike. After dealing with that elemental, you continued making your way north, taking a detour around a village called Rosslar's Coffer that the lieutenant seemed to be not interested in exploring in any way, shape, or form. But you continued making your way north, running afoul a caravan that had been destroyed. There were ominous signs there. Old blood. No corpses. Strange markings in the grass. Wasn't sure what to make of it. Neither was the lieutenant. She said she would send a patrol down to investigate. And you continued to push north. The next day, as you rounded a bend, your destination finally came into sight. Castle Everstand, standing far in the distance, was where you were to be trained. But when you saw it, it became clear that this was not a place where you were going to receive any sort of instruction at all. The castle was on fire. The town outside Squirestone was in riot and panic, flames coming from many of the buildings. The lieutenant urged your wagon forward, rushing the group of you to the town and the besieged castle. Even though no army was visible, something was clearly terrible happening inside its walls. When you arrived, you found most of the village strangely empty, but there were signs of struggle and conflict. Buildings were aflame, blood poured down the streets. Arriving in the center of town, you found a shrine, a small temple to Iombade, being besieged by 6 walking corpses, 3 skeletons and 3 zombies, us bashing at the door, trying to get inside. You sprung into action, slicing apart zombies, battering skeletons, and smashing them to the stones. After doing so, you were able to find out what was inside, what the skeletons and the zombies were desperately trying to get after. There, over almost 24 villagers were huddling, hiding, an aged priest watching over them with his ill-fitting mail and old rusted sword. His eyesight failing him, he was ready to give up his life to protect them. But now you were here. Lieutenant Ellisand took in the situation. She knew what she had to do. She asked you to kneel. She asked you to recite the vows. She knighted you. She gave you the last order she would probably ever give you. She ordered you to take the refugees, take them from this place, lead them south to where she was born, out of Lastwall, take them to Nirmathos. In northern Nirmathos, there's a small town called Kassen. Take them there, take them away from danger. The lieutenant and the private grimly gripped their blades and turned to the castle. It was their duty to go inside and protect and find any of the brethren that they left there, leaving the 6 of you And I should note you were also with a plucky halfling named Lucky.
We love Lucky.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh, yourself. Your friend.
Leaving the six of
Grown
you.
on me. He's grown.
Leaving the six of you to escort a horde of frightened, terrified villagers south to Kassen, along with their aging priest and one half-orc private who is assigned to protect them. So, that is where we are going to pick up. Our adventure begins just a scant minutes after that moment. You've escorted the villagers away from the town itself. You got to the edge where your wagon was still waiting for your horses that were tied to it, skittish, frothing from all the activity as you drove them very hard to get here. But also, it's pretty clear those horses are pretty equally excited to be away from the burning town filled with walking dead. So you were able to load some of the injured villagers into that very easily and make your way down the hillside road that led from Squirestone back out to the plains. So that's kind of where we are picking up at that exact moment. You've escorted them down the hill. You're leaving the town behind. The flames continue to spread. You occasionally hear odd cries echoing from the distance. What would you like to do?
What sort of cries?
You hear an occasional shout or scream, but it sounds really distant and echoey, like it might be coming from inside the keep.
Oh.
Oh no.
We have been told to do a specific thing. We cannot go back and break our disobey orders on our very first mission. It is not a good idea. I can see what you are thinking there. No.
No way! I've been given an order by the lieutenant. I would never break that vow. I'm a knight now. I follow my duty. And these people need protection. And that is what my god does. Protect.
The townsfolk are all kind of looking at you with expected eyes. The priest, who's been loaded up on the wagon, he doesn't move too quick. His name is Sir Falmer. That was mentioned briefly at the end of the last episode. I just want to make sure you had it. Sir Falmer and Private Unkier are guiding the wagon. In the back are about half a dozen villagers who took pretty nasty wounds. They have like bad leg wounds or like broken arms or something in the struggle and fight.
As we go.
Absolutely. Sir Falmer says, "So you've been ordered to bring us to safety. That
is what we'll do.
That is well. So where are we going?"
We are headed to Kassen. It is a town in the south of
Northern border.
northern
Near
border of
Nearmouth.
Nearmouth.
Do any of you have the society skill?
I do.
I think I do.
Sure.
Yes.
I do.
Those of you with society can go ahead and give me
I do
a
have it.
check.
It's just a one. But
I have it.
got it.
With a D20?
Yep, go ahead and roll a d20 and add your skill bonus.
It's That's 12 for me.
I have a
Right.
21.
Rolled an 8.
Well,
rolled a 4.
I mean, that's a number.
I have a 21.
A 21? All right, that's quite good. So, Liz, you have a sense of the geography of this region. You're at Castle Everstand, and Kassen is far to the south, kind of in the middle of the Fangwood. There is a river that bisects the forest, and it's called the Turandel River. So you are to the west and north of the town of Kassen. Getting there can be done a variety of ways, you would think. You can travel overland and stay out of the forest until you get south to the river and then follow the river to the town. You can certainly do that. You could also try your luck through the actual forest, the Fangwood. That's the more direct route, but it is also through a pretty dense forest. You can also kind of split the difference and see where that takes you. But that's the choice that sits in front of you.
I explained this to the party. Since we are all here together and we are a team, I feel it is though we should make this decision as one. We have a few choices before us. We could go overland. It will take a little bit more time, but it is probably the safest way. But there's also the most direct path, which is straight through the forest. Or we could mix and match and see how we feel about that. But it is really...
Do we know what's in the forest?
There's Yes, the biggest
but bears.
problem with the forest, though maybe not so much with me at your side, I actually am a specialist in forests, as it were. The problem with the forest is that it is very dense, and so it will be difficult to travel through with sick and wounded in the wagon. There might be places where we cannot pass, and people will have to get out and travel on foot, which will slow us down. So either way, it probably would still end up taking us about the same amount of time.
There are trails in the forest, but they may not take you directly there. They may be a bit meandering based on geography and topography.
It might get a little bit windy in there. It depends on how we feel. The traveling over land is out in the open. We are more likely to be attacked. Traveling in the forest, we have more cover, but we won't see if something coming if it does try to attack us. So we're taking our chances either way.
We may want to mix both.
Maybe a mix and I feel like a mix and match is probably a good.
Okay, maybe save some time.
We travel through the Fanghorn until we hit the river, and then we travel along the river. What do we think of that?
What do you mean by mixing and matching? Are you saying we splitting?
No, we spend some time in the forest, and then we spend some time outside of the forest on the path.
Oh,
the
sure.
longer way and the shorter way, so we
Sure.
don't take the direct route, so we don't put ourselves in immediate danger, but we still try and save some time instead
Okay.
of going the long
Is
way.
that-
Okay,
is
I
that
follow
possible?
that.
Well, you could kind of just head back directly the way you came,
okay.
almost exactly back down the road that you took to get here. That would take you down toward Rossler's coffer.
Do not say those words to me. You know
Which-
this temptation that lives in my heart.
No,
Which-
we have people to protect.
which is also on the Turandel River. So the Turandel River passes by Rossler's coffer before it eventually arrives in Kassen. But you don't have a map per se, so you're not going to be 100% sure where anything is other than just kind of traveling and finding your way. However, you can also just kind of play it opportunistically, look for a good path that's leading into the forest and just take it when the opportunity presents itself.
They look intrigued.
Well, obviously, if we travel a path that I am familiar with, we will travel faster because it is one that is familiar to all of us. But if we take our chances with a path none of us are familiar with, we could end up lost and wandering for days.
Maybe we should just take the way that we know.
And just be safe about it.
Sir Falmer says, "We will trust in you. You are knights." And the private is like, "I've never traveled south. I don't know where to go."
Also
And I-
windy stomach, this one.
Oh, no, that was just because I was hungover.
Oh.
That was the alcohol. I'd never had it before. I don't
Now
like
you
it.
see Sir Falmer and the private look at each other like, "What have we gotten
I
ourselves
grew up in a
into?"
monastery. It's
Before
not
we
good
were
to drink
knights.
alcohol.
Oh, yes, quite. But we should probably get going. There are terrible things stirring. So where are we going?
We are taking the road we traveled before, at least up until a point, and then we will see where fortune takes us. But now we are going to head for the river, along the path we have already trod.
Lead on. So, with the wagon in tow, filled with villagers, and the rest of the villagers are kind of walking behind, or sorry, they're actually walking in front of the wagon. So the wagon's making a slow pace. All the villagers are making a slow pace, but it's still moving away. So as the afternoon proceeds towards dusk, Castle Everstand slowly starts receding into the distance. Even as sunset begins to fall, you can see that there are still fires burning in the town. The orange-red lights are still flickering on the castle walls. Whatever is happening there is not over.
The city is burning.
Just as it begins to get dark, you could swear that there is something emerging from the city.
Oh, no.
The villagers are looking very nervous. Why don't you guys all give me perception checks?
I'm going to be also spending my time healing as many people in the wagon as I can.
All right.
Ooh!
Maybe we'll switch that next time, just so that maybe
Yeah.
I feel as though
Someone rolled well. What did you get?
Time next time.
18 base plus 12.
Oh, that's a 30. That's
30!
fantastic. Yeah. Nice.
18 base
for mile.
plus 13, so 31.
Oh,
Show me up, God.
What do your eyes see?
7 base.
Yeah.
With a 9. So
so 16. All right.
Yeah.
Anyone else cracking 30? No. So,
15 ratio.
you noticed that you are still wearing shoes. Now,
I'm a bit busy doing other things.
yeah. So the two of you are kind of keeping an eye, looking back at the city, and you can't help but notice that in the last rays of the sun, as the sun is starting to set, you can't help but notice the glint off mail as armored forces begin to emerge from the city, and it looks like some of them might be on horseback.
Oh no. Oh golly. We have problems. We have very fast problems on 4 legs.
They are coming our way.
Uh-huh.
We should be on our guard.
2 legs on top of 4 legs. They're fast. This
We
is
should
not
maybe
You're
try
fast.
We should try to move.
horseback.
I guess we can try to ride
No.
for the night.
Are you sure it's not our forces?
Probably not, because the fire's still going.
That doesn't mean nothing. That means we could have burned them all.
I would not.
We were burning stuff
I
as
would
well.
not take that risk.
Is there
Yeah, what if they aren't ours?
What if they're
and
all
they catch
undead?
up
I'm
to
not
us?
saying we shouldn't be protective of ourselves. I'm just saying be hopeful.
This discussion is really making the villagers look around at each other
We should
very
perhaps
We need
nervously.
to
them
give
off
them
the
We should
road.
keep going. We should
We
keep
should
going.
also
First,
get them
yes,
off the
do
road.
we know who it is? Can we see? Is there a sign for the family or?
Whatever is coming after you is way too far away. You can't see any heraldry or anything like that. They basically looked back and saw kind of like almost like ants swarming out of an anthill. But some of them were clearly moving fast. They were moving ahead of the rest.
I do not think they would have any reason to come after us unless they needed to come after us for specific reasons. We do not want to scare our charges, but we should maybe get them off the road.
That is fine by me. We just maybe shouldn't be saying that all of them are dead.
Well, let's just get off the road.
The townsfolk, there's like 1 or 2 townsfolk who are making perception checks, and they were like,
So
I don't see the word.
I covered my mouth. They don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I'm saying.
People can still hear you from
let's get off the road. I'm going to
Let's
start
get off
like
the road.
gently directing them to like if there's like a tree line or anything that we can kind of sort of any kind of cover.
I mean, there is a tree line, but it's a good mile off the road. Now, you could go there, but it's going to be hard travel. Now, the town is so far away right now that mounted forces on horseback that are moving at full speed, you've probably got about an hour and a half before they reach this location, if this is where they're going. Going from here to the tree line might take about an hour. You might be able to make it, but it would be a hard push.
I guess we're
Trekking on.
going on.
I'm not sure. I mean, if it's a race between us and them, I would bet on us every time because we are a team and we are resourceful.
And we're knights.
Yes. But we can only move as a team, so what do you guys want to do?
I set an alarm.
What sort of alarm?
Well, you could put an alarm spell on the path that would mentally alert you if bad guys go through it.
I would know if they're coming after us.
That could work.
Can I set it off the path where we're going so that I know if they're not continuing on the road?
You could.
Okay.
So are we going
Should
to
I?
make for the tree line and then set an alarm just off the path so if they do try to follow us, we will know it right away?
If they're coming for us.
Yes, and if they continue on the road, we will know it is safe and then we can... For now,
right.
we just want to hide them in the tree line. We don't need to continue traveling past that once we are here.
All right. So, my question is, how are you going to get them off the trail? Because you have a wagon and like about 15 people on foot.
Has my healing helped at all?
It has helped. The people in the back of the wagon look like they're mobile now.
Okay.
But you're talking about abandoning the wagon and the horses?
Can we keep the horses? Can they go through the forest?
Of course, yeah. I mean, and you could probably take the wagon too, but it would take coaxing the horses, and it would leave quite the trail. Now, you could also use survival to cover up the trail.
I have the ability to cover up our trail. So if you guys go on ahead, I can follow you behind and make sure that we are able to hide our tracks. That is an ability that I have.
Can anyone else go in front and scout?
Can I get hooked up to the cart too? I'd be an extra horse.
You could be up there with the like.
Right.
They both.
Bridle me up. Let's go.
The priest and a private Unkir look at each other and.
I've worked in mines
here's
before.
like-
Rocks are a lot heavier than people.
All right, so here's how this is going to work. It sounds like there are a few of you that are going with the wagons and all the people to make sure they go. Do any of you have nature?
No.
As a skill?
No.
Me.
Yes.
I do.
Liz.
Well, so here's the thing. To coax the horses forward, that's a use of the nature skill. So you can roll nature to try and coax the horses forward. The only problem is, Liz, you can't do both that and cover up the tracks.
Should I play a song to try to soothe the horses?
Do you have Inspire Competence?
Oh, what a great spell.
Just inspire courage.
Can I try and intimidate the horses to run alongside me?
Well, you could try and scare the horses, sure,
exactly.
yeah.
Cast fear on the
Yeah.
horses. I'd feel very bad.
I have
Sir-
intimidation as well.
Sir Falmer is like, well, let's not scare the horses, they'll bolt and then the wagon will be wrecked.
Well, that's true.
I'm attached to it.
So tell you what,
You alone.
why don't you give me a nature check, because you're trying to lead the horses away.
Okay. Listen. We gotta do well. That's 12.
A 12. All right. So you're trying to coax the horses forward, but it's not going too great. They're moving, but they're not moving too fast. Meanwhile, Liz, you're staying behind to cover up the tracks. That's a survival use. You don't have to roll for it. It just makes it harder for people to find the tracks kind of automatically. So, but it does take you time to do it. So you're there kind of covering up the tracks, taking like
Half of my travel speed.
yeah. So you're falling behind the group as you're doing it, but you're like taking a branch to sweep aside the dirt and move the leaves around so that the signs of your passage are not as obvious. Has anyone else got anything else they can do to help?
Oh, we did sit in
I'm
the van.
pulling the cart. Too.
Give me an athletics check.
Gosh, sure. Okay.
Can we both?
Sure. Yeah, you can have a few folks. I'm assuming you have some rope, so you can have a few folk help with pulling the cart, helping the horses along.
29.
That's great.
27.
The two of you are pulling almost as much as the horses are. And although you weren't able to guide them particularly well, since they're being kind of yanked in the direction you need them to go,
Useless horses.
the horses are looking rather distraught, like they might be out of a job. So the two of you start yanking and pulling and helping to guide the horses. With a bit of coaxing from some nature, you manage to get the horses moving. Liz, how long are you going to continue doing this? Are you...
I want to wait until we're about maybe a half a mile. Because where is it that you set up your alarm?
On the path a little bit in from where we exited, so it's obvious if someone is following us.
I want to perhaps continue to erase the tracks for about maybe half a mile.
Okay.
3/4 of a mile, not all the way up until, because at some point I do need to like ditch this and like go.
Yeah, right.
But for the most part, I'm trying to make it so that anybody trying to track us is going to have to be able to look really far to do it.
Absolutely. So you are able to sweep away and cover the tracks, and as you are doing this, as you're making this kind of desperate gambit to make it to the forest edge, night is falling. The last rays of sun are finally cresting out of the treetops, and it is now growing dark.
Well, I have my ever-burning torch.
That certainly helps. Most of the villagers are human, so they can't see in the dark.
Yeah.
We should use
but-
as little light as possible, though.
That's true.
Once we get into the tree line and it starts to go dark, we mustn't light anything at all.
All right. The horse and the wagon and the villagers make it to the tree line. You immediately start moving in and getting things away, deep enough in so that no one can see you. Liz, you get about halfway, and that's when they enter the tree line, right? So you're about halfway. They reach the tree line, and it's now dark. The forces that are after you have to be getting very close.
Yes, and because of my small size,
Yeah.
it is pretty difficult to see me.
true.
especially in the dark. I can use my distracting shadows to kind of,
Oh, absolutely.
make my way judiciously towards the tree line.
So that allows you to hide just in kind of the faintest bits of shadow and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So as you are doing this, you suddenly realize that whatever mounted forces were coming after you have reached your location, and you're not at the tree line yet. The rest of you, safely ensconced at the tree line. I'm assuming you've put out the torch and stuff like that.
See, just fine. I'll let you know.
I'll let you know if we're all about to die. Don't worry, I got it. All right. So you reach the tree line. You drive everyone inside. You find a kind of a hollow, a kind of a dip in the land. Get the wagon down in there. Get the villagers down there. They are all looking at each other as if they're expecting the end. They've clearly seen some stuff, and they are all very kind of shocked looking. They are like looking at each other, and they're all gripping weapons. You can see their white knuckles, even in the dark. Liz.
I am going to continue to make my way as stealthily as possible towards.
So you're going to continue moving?
Yes, but I will attempt to use the dark and my stealth in order to move.
So
Even if it is a little bit at a time, I will. Do I hear them?
So looking back at the path, you hear the sound of mail, like rusted mail,
Do I see like
and
a
barding.
Do I see like a thick clump of grass or some?
Yeah, no, this is kind of wilderlands, so there's plenty of places where you could duck
Then
down.
I will
on that.
probably just drop
Sure.
to the floor for a bit
All right.
and kind of hold position.
Do you want to be able to see what's happening, or are you just going straight?
I will turn so that I can kind of like.
All right. You're really far away from the road anyway, and you have a good stealth. So the odds that they're going to see you, they have to roll incredibly high.
It's a lot of rolling.
It's a lot of rolling.
Marching up on the path, you see 4 skeletal knights. They are mounted on horses that are as dead as they are. Their bones clip-clopping down the path, snorting even though they don't have lungs to breathe anymore. They just kind of shudder as their mail bounces off their bones. The skeletons riding forward have lances. And they go riding up the path, and you see them reach a point where they're kind of looking down at the path, and they reach this point, and they come to kind of a stop. And you see them stop and just kind of scan about. And then they move on. They did not appear to see you. And they continue making their way down the path.
Praise all the gods that everyone in this party worship, because I don't praise any gods.
I'm feverishly praying to Saren right now. Feverishly.
Looking out, the rest of you are so far away that you can't even see what's happening. Right? You're hunkered down in the tree line. You don't know what's going on. But a few moments later, and by a few moments later, it's like 10 minutes, Liz finally returns to the rest of you.
We were able to successfully cover our tracks. They have moved on down the road, but we should be careful from now on. It is probably best that we do not travel out in the open.
So I'm guessing that was a foe then, and not a friend.
Oh, that was... Oh,
Don't say.
Don't say
Head nod back at the...
They can hear you.
So,
let's go over here. Private, do you mind perhaps watching them for just a second while we confer over here?
the private says, "Oh, I'd be happy to, but
We'll fill you in just a moment.
I may be able to help."
Oh, well, then,
Right, then we'll just cover our mouths.
Sir Falmer, please look over your flock. We will be over here.
He's like, "I will do as Iombade demands."
Okay.
And we'll probably, scooch over, keeping an eye on them, but, 20 or 30 feet
This
away.
is the point in time where it's like, all right, don't scare the townsfolk. All right, yeah, all right. So you're able to kind of move off to the side and get a little bit of privacy, and you're able to have a discussion.
So those were definitely soldiers, and perhaps they were once one of ours, but no longer. They were skeletons. Their horses were skeletons. They had lances. They were armed to the teeth, and they were definitely after us.
Oh no.
So we should not be traveling out in the open anymore. They have obviously mobilized their forces against us. It is very possible they know it is where we are going. We have to be careful.
Unkir kind of hunkers down with you, and to be clear, Unkir looks like every other knight in Lastwall. She's wearing kind of finely made chainmail. She's got the tabard and raiment of a knight. She doesn't have any stripes or any sort of affectation. She's clearly a private, and she despite a day's worth of travel, all of her clothes are still meticulous and well put together. And she kind of comes and takes a knee next to all of you, and is like, "Private Unkir, and I'm happy to help you get these folks to safety as best I can."
I am worried that if they know where we're going, then Kassen may not be safe.
I don't think anywhere is going to be safe as long as these undead fiends are running about the land.
It's bad tidings. Bad
This-
tidings.
Well, that just means we need to get to the town faster.
You
You
were-
warning.
You were at the castle when all hell broke loose. Can you tell us more about what happened?
I can't say that I saw it. I was serving out in the village, and I was on patrol with some other knights when the dead, they just started pouring out of the ground. All of the dead of the town just rose and began to. It was horrible. They began to consume the living. With everyone they killed, another one rose. It was endless. Whenever we lost someone, they gained. There was no way to win.
I don't know about you, but this sounds quite like a lich.
Everstand isn't the only place.
What?
Was this the coffer, Rosler's coffer? Is this what happened there?
No, what happened in Rosler's coffer is probably the same thing that happened in Vigil.
Vigil? What happened?
What happened in Visual?
Vigil's gone.
What do you mean, gone? What
It's gone. It exploded. Everyone's dead.
Well,
exploded?
Lastwall is dead.
No, it's not. We're standing right here.
Well, there's a couple of us.
It's dead. This whole nation is dead. He's free. Everyone knows it.
Then it's our job to stop him again.
He was stopped before.
With what? With what? We have to escort these people to safety. What are we going to fight a lich with?
With the light of Serenray. I'm not kidding. Don't laugh at me.
We did it once, we can do it again.
What choice?
We have to get these people to safety. That's our job.
Sure, and we'll recruit along the way. We'll hit every town and we'll gather as many strong bodies as we can.
They're not soldiers. We have to protect them.
We protect them first, we get them into the town, get them somewhere safe, and then we figure out what to do. There must be other people that can help us.
the problem is if this lich has escaped, there is nowhere in this entire land that is safe.
There must be. Can't get everywhere all at once.
Can't be everywhere. We have to at least try to get them to safety.
That is not exactly what I meant. I'm saying that yes, we can get them to safety, but unless we do something about the lich, nowhere is safe.
Oh, understandable, but we can't do anything now. It's only us. We need help.
We need food, Unkir says.
Well, I can help with that.
There's a forest outpost not far from here. I think.
If you give me a vague direction where you think it is, I can try to get us there safely.
I don't think we've hit the path yet. If we continue a bit further south, we should reach it. There's a small outpost in the forest. It's not generally manned, it's for hunters, but it probably has supplies.
Perfect.
Should go there.
Yeah.
Do we want to rest for the night or do we want to continue going? Because I don't know about you, but it is dark. Traveling in the forest in the dark is quite dangerous. We have all of these people that we need to care for, and they are probably tired from the stress and strain of this day's journey. So perhaps for the night we bunker down. The danger for the time being has passed us.
For 8 hours, we have this alarm, and I'll know even if I'm asleep, it will wake me up if anyone comes down this path.
We
can
take
also
watches.
Yeah, shifts.
We should take them in twos, so no one is awake alone.
All right.
Are there any supplies in the carts to just sort of feed
Not
people?
much. I mean,
Enough for the night.
Private Car had some odds and ends in there. There's like a half a sack of potatoes and stuff like that
Any
in there.
sort of
There's-
bear jerky?
Yeah, there is still some bear. Yeah, no, there's still some bear. Not a lot, but there is still some bear.
I don't mind doing a little bit of a quick Like look around to see if I can.
See if you can find like mushrooms and stuff like
Yeah.
that to supplement. Sure. Why don't you give me a survival check?
I have. What is that thing that I have?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have.
my coyote cloak will allow me to, if I roll successfully on a survival check, I can feed like a lot of people,
Twice as many people.
twice
yeah?
as many people.
All right, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Yeah, let's see how we do.
Really, you're just trying to supplement food source supplies. I mean, no one's going to get a full meal. There just isn't enough for that many people.
That's a terrible roll. Ooh, that's only a 15.
So looking around in the dark, you find like a couple handfuls of mushrooms that you think are edible, but there isn't enough here. There's just not much here. So you supplement that with the food that you have. Unkir is like, well, I mean, it's raw, but it's better than nothing for some of the folk.
I could use if anyone has a skillet, I could use my burning hands and boil it. That might not set off a lot of light.
That's pretty barely.
We could make a stew.
I could craft something.
Yeah.
So you can probably dig a little bit of a fire pit and have a small fire. You're already below the level of the ground, so you manage to do what you can. We won't dwell on it too much, but you manage to do what you can to at least have some hot water and boil up some of these vegetables, so you're not just eating raw potato.
Not that we haven't already, but these poor people should not have to do it.
Poor private car. He tried his best. So you manage to feed them the best you can. Some of them do have, a heel of bread or, a couple odds and ends on them. So the group manages to subsist tonight. No one's full. No one's happy about it. But no one's exactly starving right now either. You set up watches. By the way, are you including Lucky in your watch rotation?
I guess we don't have much of a choice unless he wants to sleep and Unkir wants to take a watch.
I'd rather that happen.
To be honest, I would too.
Lucky's like, sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Goes to bed.
I'll take first watch.
Sure. So you're all on watch.
With you.
Okay. So you set up a watch schedule. Everybody beds down for the night. The townsfolk have fitful, restless sleep. A few of them have nightmares. It's not good. They've clearly been through a really rough time, and they're not exactly doing great. But the night passes, I would say, mostly uneventfully. And I say mostly because at about 4 a.m., you get woken up.
Oh no.
Because your alarm goes off.
Oh no. I'm gonna wake them all up and whisper, oh,
Yes,
the alarm went off.
I guess that you and I would have taken a shift together.
Went
So.
off. The alarm went
Isn't my shift yet?
The alarm went off.
You're
How far away am I from the alarm feet-wise?
It's about a mile.
A mile. Okay.
Does it have that range?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah,
I was
yeah.
just thinking of my detect alignment.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't go nearly far enough.
No.
All right.
If you want to go look, I can make us invisible while we're
Yes.
traveling.
Yes. I want to go and look and see what it is.
All right.
Be very careful.
Yes.
I'm going to cast Invisibility Sphere,
Okay.
and that should put a 10-foot burst around us.
Yeah, that makes a
10
handful of
minutes?
people invisible temporarily. It's not a
Yeah.
long period, and it's not enough to get everybody.
No.
But it's
just
enough to
for
get-
us
oh,
to
okay.
go check
Just the
it
two
out.
of us.
All right.
We're going to go quickly.
All right, so the two of you are invisible, and you kind of climb up the ridge to take a look out, and it's pre-dawn light at this point in time. So there's a bit of light starting to fill the sky. It's gone from the deep, purples and blacks of night to now some of the first rays of dawn. The sky is lightening off to the east, but the sun has not yet risen. So you just vaguely have this kind of pre-dawn sense of the environment, making it pretty hard to see. Give me a perception check.
That's a number. 29.
No, 24.
Yeah, very good. So taking a look out, it's hard to make out exactly what you're seeing. And at first you're like, what am I looking at? And you're kind of looking at each other and then looking back out, and it doesn't make sense. And then it unfortunately does. Looking out towards the road, there must be 100? 200? It's hard to count. People shambling
Oh, no.
along the road.
Along the road or coming towards us?
No, along the road. But there's so many that they're spilling off the road to either side.
People
Is
or
anything,
undead?
They're not moving like people move.
is anything eating them?
That would be the entire.
Nothing you see. They're just like a horde that is slowly moving south.
Are they being commanded to go somewhere south?
They're moving really slow though. If they left the town, they traveled all night just to get here.
Oh, we've got to go. We've got to go now.
Where are we going to go?
Go back to these people
Oh,
and then
well, yes, yeah.
go elsewhere.
Where are we going to go? Back to our friends.
Yes.
Tell our party. But I don't know. We've got to. But we've got to go.
I've got to do it quietly.
Okay.
What did you see while you were out there?
Lots of undead.
Are you still invisible?
we probably
can't
Oh, I
see
can drop it. I'll drop it.
There's about 100 to 200 undead on the road right now. We should
So we
go.
are definitely
They
not
are
going to
headed
be
south.
traveling along the road anymore. That is a big no-no.
Here's the problem though. They're headed south. We're going in the same direction.
Right, well, it took them all night to get to us.
Oh, yes.
So we head out now. We stop and gather as many supplies at the outpost and head on.
Yeah.
Right? Still the same plan.
Perhaps at the outpost they might have a map and we can figure out some other options.
Good
They're undead. They
thinking.
move slow.
We might run into that skeletal knight though.
Sure, we do have to make sure we're ahead of Dan.
I say, we meet them, we fight them.
For now we head to the outpost, see if they have a map and see if we have any other options.
We have to go as fast
So
as possible.
so Unkir has woken up and is like, well, I think I've managed to figure out where the outpost is, so we should be able to get there.
We go now.
Great.
In the
Like-
cover of the trees.
Unkir is like, by the way, last night when I was taking stock of the supplies, I found this. And Unkir puts a small leather pouch down in front of you.
Detect magic.
You don't get any magic from it.
Okay.
I would like to take
And she kind of looks at it and looks at all of you and just says, I'm sorry,
What is it?
and just walks away.
I'm gonna open
It was rather ominous.
Open it.
So inside, it looks like there's a couple small personal effects. So there's like a comb and a brush and a bracelet and like a small nub of like soap. And it looks like personal effects, right? And at the very bottom is a small, very excellently carved wooden soldier.
Who's this?
What is this?
Is this
What's in that?
Lucky's? Is Lucky still here?
Yeah, Lucky's still here.
Oh, whose is this?
Is there a name on the bag?
Oh, I'm gonna pick up the little soldier and look.
So it looks like a child's toy, and it looks really old, but it does look expertly carved. Like this thing looks better than almost any toy you've ever seen. And on the back, there's an inscription that says, "For my dearest daughter Andla."
Oh, no.
We should take this to her father. I'm going to pocket it.
All right.
She really believed she was going to die.
I suppose so.
The personal effects of Andla and Carr are in the wagon. Carr's stuff is just like cook supplies and stuff. It's nothing personal. Like, you know, he had his clan dagger and whatnot on him. You know, so none of that stuff is here. But Andla apparently left the small leather pouch of her personal belongings in the wagon.
As you pocket the trinket, I march straight over to the wagon and start hitching myself up again.
I'm gonna wake everyone up.
All right.
Got to go now. Immediately. Do not question. Just go.
The villagers look very, very nervous about that.
Don't worry, we are going to go to an outpost to get some food, and then we are going to continue journeying on.
Will we be safe there?
You must keep calm.
We'll be safer here in the forest traveling than we would be on the roads.
Sarah and Ray
So we
will
should
look after
probably
Safety is our number one
Get-
priority.
I need one of you to make me a diplomacy check
Ooh.
to try and calm them
I
down.
can
I
I can use performance for diplomacy, or is that only for a specific thing?
Do you have the versatile performance
I
thing that allows
do.
you to use performance? So what you're going to do is break out your violin and try and calm their nerves?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and bounce me that roll. That's a performance check.
Nice.
That is A 26.
The townsfolk, they listen to your kind of stirring song, and they're like, well, if you say we're going to be safe, all right. And they all gather up all their stuff. Father Falmer, or Sir Falmer, the aged priest, is loaded back up into the wagon. Most of the villagers can now walk on their own. There's still one or two that are just elderly and aren't going to go fast no matter how healthy they are.
Stay in the cart. It is no problem.
right.
I'm covered.
All right.
I will attempt to scout ahead and find our path.
All right. So what you're doing right now is basically a survival check to try and find your way there. This isn't technically a thing you can fail because you have time to find it, right? There's not like a deadline. But this is a check that we like to call a fail-forward check. So even if you fail, it just takes longer. And time is not exactly on your side. So go ahead and give me a survival check. This is not an easy check. Unkir's knowledge is a little sketchy.
That would be a 25.
25. Okay. That's a success. It's not a critical success. It's not a failure. So after about, takes about 3 or 4 hours of making your way, I'm assuming along the tree line. You guys aren't going back out into the the open, are you?
No, we're pulling
No.
straight
No.
through the roots and
at
on
all.
the trail.
All right. So making your way through the kind of dense forest, you eventually find your way to a forest path. And Unkir is like, well, this has to be it. I'm pretty sure. I don't serve out here much. I'm sorry.
You have done an excellent job. Your direction was perfect.
She nods. I just want to see all these people to safety.
As do we all. You have done well, Private.
She nods. Thank you. I guess you're privates too now.
But you outrank us. Technically, you have been in service longer than we have.
She just for a moment blushes, and she's like, I was knighted a week and a half ago.
Liz just winks at her and continues to do their job.
She blushes a bit more and heads back to the rest of the villagers. So you've found the path. So you no longer need to pull the horses. The horses can now pull the wagon by
Oh,
themselves.
I'm still helping. Oh, we got to make quick time. We need 3 horsepower. Thank you very much.
Very good. All right. So after another 2 hours or so making your way down this forest path, the townsfolk are starting to look pretty tired. They're not used to marching all day, especially not through the woods. At this point,
so well.
at this point in time, because you started so early, it's only like getting close to noon. The day is barely even half over, and the trail leads you to a very small little forested outpost. It's almost nothing. It's like it's not even square. It's a triangle of wooden walls with a small building and whatnot in it that you can see sticking out over the top. That has like a hunter's stand in it so that they can see the surrounding forest. And there is one palisade gate on one side, one wooden gate on one side that's just basically sharpened logs lashed together. And as you make your way around to it, you notice that the wooden gate has been bashed open.
Oh, that is not good. I hold up my hand to warn.
As soon as they do that, I'm going to detect alignment.
Okay. You give out a burst of detect alignment. You're trying to sense evil in the area. This isn't giving you very good range right now because you're not very close to it, so you're not really picking up anything quite yet.
If it's not within the 30 feet, I would wait until I was within 30
Oh, all right. Sure. So you'll have to be almost right on top of it for that, because otherwise you're only going to get like the wall.
Okay.
So I mean,
I'm going to try and stealth over there.
oh, all right. So you're trying to move up a little bit. What are the rest of you doing?
I am also kind of stealthing my way closer to get a better view of like what could possibly what has made these kind of what has caused this damage to
Sure.
discern.
All right.
I sort of stay with the villagers as a possible protection in case.
All right.
I'd like to go there.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you going to be stealthy, or are you just going to walk toward the front gate?
I'm going to walk towards the front.
All right.
God, be careful.
Toriel.
I was
Oh,
gonna.
Lord, he coming.
Oh, Lord, he coming. That's your catchphrase.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
We're finding a Red's catchphrase. I love it.
I was gonna sneak up with them.
All right.
Sneak with me.
All right. So a number of you are going up sneaky, and the champion is
could-
just like, I don't do that.
No,
That's not.
And, you know, if anything, I could be a diversion of some sort.
I think the traditional name for that is bait.
Yeah.
Bait.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
Meat shield.
Yeah.
All right. So Lucky is like, I'll stay here.
Of course.
I'm gonna guard the wagon.
You and Lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Lucky and I've just named the horses Rose and Starlight because we have Rose up against the Lich, and sleeping under Starlight for the first time is quite nice. So Rose and Starlight, how you doing?
That's
We're going to
lovely.
protect.
Love that.
The horses.
Darling.
The horses whinny a little, I guess. All right.
No.
They don't answer. That'd be really
Nature.
weird. All right. So the group of you, I have the sneaky side of the table. The three of you are all sneaking up. Yeah. And then I have the champion who's just marching up towards
That's
the front
right.
gate. All right. So you draw closer. And as you approach the fortress outpost, really, you notice something rather peculiar. It looks like the gate may have been bashed out, not in.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Any evil in there?
Now that you're kind of up near the wall, you can't. Do you cast detect evil, or you just shout?
I cast it.
Because that is one surefire way to detect evil is
Yeah.
just shout.
That's what I would. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Not a champion, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you cast detect evil and let loose your magic senses, feel out through the palisade, and attempt to see if there is any evil inside. And you sense something. There's something in there.
Something in there.
I'm gonna.
Any evil in there?
Be careful! Oh, God. Light
So-
so, serenade be upon you.
Iculus calls out any evil in there, and almost as if in response to hearing a voice, you suddenly hear
That was a
and
Lovely.
bolting out of the front door, running almost as if like momentarily on all fours, are these lithe, thin little undead things. You would wager that they're probably roughly human in size, but because they're running on all fours, using their hands as feet, basically, they're hunched down and low. Their skin is kind of like the color of an old purple bruise. Their flesh is pulled taut over their joints to the point that where their elbows bend, it's split and you can see bone. They have long fangs in their mouth and lolling tongues and long pointed ears. And they're just wearing like bits of rag. And as the first one comes running out, because there is more than one of them, it rises up, raises its hands, which are covered in long claws, and just goes, fresh meat, and comes charging at you. And I'm gonna need everybody to roll
Wait, does this
initiative.
look familiar to me?
Does it look familiar to you?
Scout's warning.
No.
Scout's warning.
Too late.
Too late! We knew!
Scott's warning, I knew
No,
this would
but
happen.
we're by the cards. Oh,
We're rolling
Lucky, get
initiative.
up.
Oh, lucky.
Initiative?
Yes, by all means, roll initiative. The three of you can roll stealth if you want. You can also roll perception. That
same
is
thing
kind
for
of
me.
up to you.
Oh, I'm gonna roll stealth.
They're exactly the same thing for me.
Yeah, definitely not gonna roll stuff.
But you do get +1 for Scout's warning.
Oh, nice.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, that's something I can do every single time we roll initiative, basically.
Nice.
So
Thank you.
All right, let me roll initiative for these guys.
it's a free action to do it, and
So
it's triggered
it's
by
a 5
initiative.
plus 1 for me plus 12, so it's 18.
All right, Iculus has an 18. Gotcha. Toriel, what do you have?
15.
15. All right. Linnaeus.
20. Me and my beetles get 20.
Nice.
Lucky is back in the wagon. I'm not even going to roll for him. Liz.
24.
And Omelette.
21.
All right.
I keep forgetting her name is Omelette.
And it's delightful.
Amazing
every time.
name.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. So, top of the order, Liz, your warning helped you the most of all. You saw them coming. You shouted out a warning. It's your turn. There are, I should tell you how many of them there are, shouldn't I? That only seems fair. There are 5 of them, and they come charging out of the fortress, running on all fours. But the moment they get out, they kind of leap over the remnants of the gate, by the way. They, like, dive right over it. And then they stand up and are like, ah. And each one of them is about a move away from anybody.
If that is the case, then I want to create a little bit of distance.
Okay?
But I do want to do so. Nope, I can't do that. I am going to create distance, but I am going to do it so it is possible maybe they cannot see me. I did not start this action hiding because I did not roll stealth, but I would like to hide now.
So what you can do is you can easily run around the corner of the fortress. So picture it like a triangle.
Okay.
The door out of it is on one side. You're over towards a corner.
Okay.
You can just duck around the corner.
I would like to duck around the corner, and from there I would like to take a shot. Is there anyone that appears to be like perhaps their leader?
So you're staying right at the corner so you can still shoot? Okay. It doesn't look like they have any sort of hierarchy. They just look like vicious
Then
undead monsters.
I am going to go ahead and use my hunter's aim to concentrate on one specific one.
Yep.
One that is closest to Iculus.
All right.
And then I am going to take my hunted shot.
All right. I, by the way, assume that the moment you saw this place, everyone drew weapons.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm giving you that for free.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, FYI.
I had mine drawn when I was advanced.
The moment you see a weird fortress with the doors broke out, I'm assuming that you're drawing weapons.
Listen, I have a nervous nature. Anything I see something off, I'm going to get ready to
I'm not
fight.
going to yell any evil in there with
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Hey, any
I don't
evil
like the
here?
look of that tree. I draw my sword.
So the
But-
first attack probably hits. The second attack probably doesn't. The first hit is a 30.
A 30 is a critical hit.
Woohoo!
That exceeds my armor class by 10.
Nice. So I am going to go ahead and roll my 2d6, and then I'm going to use my d10 to do my deadly d10. Yes.
All right.
Oh, that is not bad. That is 8 times 2. That is a
16.
plus 10 on my d10.
26 points of damage. That arrow goes like right through its neck. And if it were a living creature, that definitely would have killed it.
Unfortunately,
It's not a living creature. So it's still up, but it's just got this neck arrow now.
so I am. I'm so
It's now making a
excited
weird
about
gurgle.
the success of that shot that I get a little bit too overzealous in my second one, and I only rolled a 4 plus 14, which is 18 minus the 5 is only a 13. So
Yeah, it's going to come up short.
I don't quite.
The first one was so accurate, you're like, yes! And the arrow just kind of flopped out in front of you. All right. That was Liz. Omelette. It's your turn to act.
Sure. Where are they? How far away?
You're still back at the wagon, correct?
Quite, yeah.
So you're about 50 feet away. More like 60. 50 to 60. Yeah, that's going to be 2 actions to get to him.
Okay, well, I'm not just going to go running away from the place. So, right. So what I'm
Sudden
going
charge
to do,
would get you there.
It would. So, no.
Are you arguing with me or the spirits?
Not now. Except definitely now. I need your help. So you see it envelop once more, and instead of sudden charging, I unlatch Starlight. I mount her, the horse,
Oh.
and I head into battle, I suppose.
Mounted
my-
charger, sure.
Yeah, as a sort of extra improvised weapon.
Yeah.
To bulldoze through.
So it is a draft horse, not a war horse. So it spooks easily, but you can still use it to move up to the battle. I mean, if you spur it enough, it's going to go where you want it to go.
It's a Lastwall horse. It's seen battle, even if it was just from afar.
From
while
over
attached
there.
to the cart.
Yeah. All right.
It's part of the knighthood now. It needs to start learning. We all need to start learning how to defend the land.
You've decided to train the horse.
Yes, Starlight and Rose are part of us now.
All right. Can you give me a nature check?
Okay.
So what did you get?
That's a tree. So that's a tree because I don't have anything in nature.
Do you have any
Starlight.
wisdom?
Do I have wisdom? Yeah, I have wisdom.
What's your wisdom modifier? You get to add that.
So that's a 6.
Oh, so you have a 6. All right. So that's just shy of a critical failure. So you unbolt the horse, and the horse is like, bye, and it just takes off. Starlight goes running.
I forgot to knight you. That's the problem. Dang it.
Lucky, you hear Lucky in the background go, that horse has the right idea.
Yeah.
Right, well, you can go join him if you're going. God!
All right, so that's
How many
gonna,
actions was that for me?
unbuckling the horse is probably a 2-action thing. That's not something you just do easily.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
What complicated bridles we do.
well, it's a 6-second combat round, so unbridling the horse has to take at least a few seconds, right?
Let
You're
me
just
down,
popping the latches.
Starlight.
All right,
We're going to have to go back for her.
the undead things go.
No.
2 of them immediately leap through the air at Iculus. The first one lands adjacent to you. Let me double check. Yes, it can jump up to half its speed. It just jumps through the air to land next to you.
Oh, no.
All right. It goes flying through the air, landing next to you, and attempts to hit you with its jaws, attempts to bite you.
Ugh.
But I rolled pretty poorly, so that's probably going to miss. It's only a 13, so that's not going to do it. But then it swipes out at you with a claw as its third action, and that's another 2. This die has failed me. It's failed me. All right.
Oh.
Did one of you touch my dice between
No,
sessions?
no.
You did. All right. No. Okay.
Sit.
The other one leaps through the air and lands on the other side of you.
Mm-hmm.
These things look cunning and smart, and it lands in a position to flank you.
Okay.
It's going to attempt to hit you with its jaws. It's going to miss again. That's only going to be a 16. You take a penalty of 2 to your armor class because you're flanked, but that's not going to be enough. And then it's going to attempt to hit you with its claws as well. And there we go. That's my dice. All right. That is a 16 plus 11 is a 27. Minus 5 is a 22. And your armor class is down 2.
Oh. That would make it a 22. It's a 24.
So it's 24 naturally, but because you're flanked,
Yeah.
it gets a +2. Your armor class takes a penalty of 2.
Yeah.
So that's going to hit. The claw swipes out at you and catches you. Take. Let's see. That's going to do 9 points of damage.
I can handle that.
And as its claws
I can't.
cut through your flesh, you feel a numbness because it hits you in the arm.
Oh.
And it pierces your armor, and the claws rake through your flesh, and you feel numbness spreading down your arm and up into your torso. I need you
Oh, no.
to make me a fortitude save.
Okay.
So roll the d20 and add your fortitude bonus.
Someone shillin', come to me. 22. 10,
22.
roll 10, fortitude 12.
You feel this cold chill spreading through you, but you shrug, grab, your faith in Shellen is strong, and it fades away. All right. That was 2 of them. The other 3 all come charging toward the 3 of you down at the corner. Let me see.
Could not.
So, two of them, one ends up in front of each one of you. To get to you, Liz, one of them runs up and then jumps over the entire group of you and lands next to you. But it had to spend 2 actions to do that. So you made it a little harder for it to get to you. So I'm going to take this in order. The first one is going to be coming after Linnaeus. And it's going to attempt to bite you with its slobbering jaws. It has this long, gross tongue.
No.
But I rolled a 1. So that got nowhere near you. And then it's going to attempt to hit you with a claw. And that's probably going to miss. That's only a 19.
No.
That's not going to do it.
Get out.
All right. Let's see. Let's move down to Tariel. One lands in front of you, and it's going to attempt to bite you with its jaws and fail. And then it's going to attempt to hit you with its claw. And that is a 20.
That is my AC.
Oh.
How close is she to me?
Not close enough. Yeah, she's a little too far away. She's about 30 feet away. So the claw is going to catch you, and you take 8 points of damage.
No.
And as with Iculus, a cold chill begins to spread through your flesh. Give me a fortitude save.
I can fix it. Maybe.
Yeah.
23.
You're made of sterner stuff of this. It does not affect you.
Very nice.
Lastly, Liz, the ghoul lands next to you. Slobbering tongue out. It attempts to bite you.
No.
29.
Yes, that does, but it's not critical.
All right. Bites you. Its jaws close around you. You can feel its gross tongue. Take 9 points of damage. And I need you to give me not 1, but 2 fortitude saves.
Okay, great.
The first one will be against the gross nature of its bite. And the second one will be against the spreading chill that is emanating from the wound.
Ugh.
Okay. That is 21 for the first one.
All right.
Oh, that's 19 for the second one.
The chill slowly spreads through your body, and you find yourself going entirely rigid. You are paralyzed.
I can fix it. I can fix it. I can fix it.
I'm okay. I'm
my God.
okay.
All right. Next up, that is all of the terrifying monsters. Linnaeus, it is now your turn.
All of them within 30 feet of me in a radius?
No, only 3 of them are that close.
The ones here?
The ones near you.
Okay.
The 2 fighting against Iculus are a little too far away. If you moved first, you could get all of them, but
I'm gonna. Can I use my healing font and move, or is that all 3 actions?
it's going to be all 3 actions if you want to burst out in a 30-foot
Yeah, I
burst.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the AoE.
Okay. So this goes out in a burst and does 3d10. Oh.
22!
That is a great roll.
22 positive damage, and you guys, if you took any damage, you get 20. Yeah, you get 22 health.
You
back.
get 22 back,
Wow.
and they need to make saves. The first one, this is a 21 will save. Yeah.
Yes. No, fortitude save. Basic fortitude.
Oh, it's a basic fortitude. Yeah, that's right, of course. The first one critically fails and takes 44, so he crumbles to ash.
Yeah, you
And that's going to be the one on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see which one it is. The one in front of you crumbles to ash.
As is
Out
correct.
of a 9, 10, and 3.
The second one is going to fail, so it takes 22.
Just fighting them all.
And that was the one in front of Toriel. And then the last one is going to fail and take 22 as well. So that did phenomenal damage. The energy washes over them. The flames pour out of them. But they are still standing. But they look very badly hurt now.
Good. My beetles get really excited and they kind of peek out. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
There's
There's like this little beetle wave that happens. It's like,
Yup.
awesome. All right. Iculus, you have two of these undead fiends in front of you, one of which is very badly hurt from an arrow that is going right through its neck.
okay.
Almost like one of those novelty.
Yeah.
Except not novelty. Black ichor is pouring out of both sides.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Metal.
So there's two. So I have to.
You have to decide which one you're attacking. They're on either side of you. Now, you could take a move to prevent them from being on either side of you. You could, like, move off to one side. That way they're not on either side of you. But then the one that isn't could also just then move to be back on another side of you. So it's you can kind of play this cat and mouse game moving around. But if you're still attacking them, they can still get around you and get the bonus because there's two of them.
Question about something that I have.
Yeah, sure.
Potencies, crystals, and holy water.
Yeah. So holy water, holy water is an item that's been blessed, and when you throw it at undead, if it hits them, the holy water will shatter, and it deals I think it's a D6 damage.
Okay.
So it does some damage. It's not the best weapon in your arsenal.
Okay.
But in some cases, it's better than nothing. But it also deals splash damage to those around it. So if there was like a big horde of undead, throwing that in the middle would do more damage. But this wouldn't qualify for that.
Sure.
The potency crystal, you have this affixed to the end of your bastard sword. What that is a talisman. There's a few talismans floating around in the group. These are a type of magic item that is like a small dangle that represents some powerful magic. And you affix it to either your armor or your weapon. And once it's affixed, you can call upon its power once, and then it crumbles to dust. The one that you have is a potency crystal. It's like this shard of quartz banded with silver. And when you call upon it, the crystal just crumbles to dust. And for that round, your sword, which is already a +1 sword, turns into a +1 striking sword, which means instead of dealing 1 die of damage, you deal 2 dice of damage. So it'll jump up your damage by an extra die for 1 round.
I'm going to attack the one that's already
Hurt
the most.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Shaylin's with me. And she's not. That's a 1.
That a 1 is going to be a pretty bad miss. Yeah. No, that's not going to hit. So you swing wildly at it, and it nimbly dodges out of the way, and it looks at you, and it's like, ha, 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 ha. It laughed at you.
I don't like that.
Yeah. You still have 2 more actions. Would you like to swing again?
I do.
All right.
You have other dice. You have other dice.
You're right.
How many dice will end up in dice jail?
That's going to be a 27.
So that's going to be a -5, so it does drop it down to a 22. But that is still a hit. It's not a critical hit, but it is a hit.
Yay.
So you're going to deal a d12. And remember, this guy happens to be undead as well, so you're going to get that extra d6 you have on your weapon as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 8, 12.
12. All right. Finishing off what the arrow started, your blade slices through this undead thing and collapses to the ground. That one is dead. You still have 1 action left. You can swing for the fences and try and hit the other one. But
I'm going.
all right, go ahead. Better roll high.
It's a walk-off. And it's an 18 plus 12. That's a 30.
That's a 30 minus 10.
Minus 10. Okay, that's a
It's
20.
down to a 20, which still hits.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give me some damage. That is what you needed. That's a D12 and a D6 plus 4.
Big million whammies.
Oh, I have to stay.
Remember, they have to stay in the roller. That's the rule.
7 plus
11.
4. That's 11.
Awesome. All right. Your blade slices into the other one. Black ichor pours out of it, and it just laughs at you. All right. That was Iculus. Tariel.
Well, I'm going to cast Inspire Courage.
Okay.
My little
All right.
tune.
That'll give a +1 bonus to everyone who's near you.
60 feet.
60 feet. Oh, that's going to hit everybody.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Look who's near the party.
And then I'm going to use 2 actions on my magic missile wand
Awesome.
to try and shoot the remaining 2.
All right. Well, you have one in front of you that's pretty hurt.
Yes.
And then there's one in front of Liz that's pretty hurt. And then there's the one way over in front of Iculus that looks a little hurt.
I'll go for the
mildly
2 in front
hurt.
of Liz and me.
All right. So 1 to each.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a d4 and give me the 2 different damage totals.
Okay, well, the one in front of me is going to take 4 points of damage. And then the one in front of Liz is going to take 3 points of damage.
All right. The 2 missiles slam into the creatures, and their purplish flesh blackens where the missiles strike them. They just zoom out and hit them. But both of them are still standing. Top of the order, Liz.
I am
You
paralyzed.
are
I
paralyzed.
cannot do anything.
So-
What do I do?
At the end of your turn, you may attempt another fortitude save to shake off the paralysis.
I am going
But you do lose your entire turn doing so.
Well, I wouldn't have a turn anyway because I am paralyzed. I cannot do anything, can I?
That's right. Yeah.
So fortitude is the only thing I can do.
Yep. Go ahead
So I
and
shall
make
do
the
it.
save.
I just made a natural 20 plus 10. That's 30.
Oh, right.
Well, that'll shake it off.
Yeah.
Not today, mother cracker.
All right. Liz shakes off the paralysis. The ghoul is still in front of them, but at least now you can defend yourself.
I can do that indeed.
All right. Which is very good because had it gotten back to my turn and you were paralyzed, I was going to eat you. All right, omelet. it
I love it. Eat you. And then
Eat
omelet.
you, omelet.
omelet. I was going to eat you, omelet.
Omelet sounds really good right now. To be perfect.
Yeah, it does. I really
Not that we're going to eat you.
No, not that one.
Not yet, anyway. Please don't turn into a zombie.
No, I'll try not to.
Okay.
I can fix that.
So,
Funny enough, those of you who have religion are pretty sure these aren't zombies, but you're not sure what they are. In combat like this, you can identify undead, especially undead, using the religion skill. But it does take an action. So,
no, too busy smashing.
yeah, that's what I figured. So, omelet.
So, are they still quite far away? None came after me?
No, they're still over there. The horses running.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started.
Poor Starlight.
Can't we send Lucky to get Starlight?
You could.
He's shouting.
He's in the back going, he's got his dagger out like, you guys got this?
Go get the coward. I sudden charge straight for the closest.
All right. So the
Creature.
closest pair of them is the pair that is one is attacking Liz and one is attacking Tariel. Mm-hmm. The one that's further away is the one that's attacking Iculus.
Okay, well, no, I'll go after the one that's attacking this because, as far as I know, they're underground, and that
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah.
They're starting to move, but they're still vulnerable. So I'll go
Yeah.
after that one.
For a moment there, Liz was just standing there frozen as this thing came up and was preparing to attack.
Sure.
her. Yeah.
Yeah, you look the most sort of in need of help.
All right.
So-
you go charging forward and are able to make an attack. You make it right up there with sudden charge.
Yeah.
And you may now roll your attack.
Yes.
And you're already raging, correct?
I'm already raging, yeah. So I have a quick question about sudden charge.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-action thing.
Yeah.
Is it? And then it says if I end my movement within melee reach, I can get the enemy.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count as my third.
Correct.
Yes.
So what it does is, what sudden charge lets you do is it allows you to move twice your speed and make an attack at the end of it for just 2 actions.
Oh, nice.
That's one of the great things about the system is each character has their own ways to interact differently with the way the action system works. Sudden charge is a great example of that.
Okay. That's 25 to hit.
That is smashy. Go ahead and deal damage.
Oh, and I'm. What was the bonus?
You get a +1 to your attack roll.
Oh, so that's 26. Not that it mattered.
Not a crit, but still a lot of damage.
Ooh. 19 damage. Ooh. And then.
Liz, you get
and this is
spattered
positive.
with gore as the thing gets sliced almost right in half and just splashes you with black ichor.
You need to be more positive.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's everywhere. That's all over.
Is there another enemy in distance of me?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's the other one in front of Tariel that is also within reach because the two of them were right next to each other. Oh, you know what? Sorry, I have that wrong. Tariel was a little further back. Liz moved further back, so that one is not next to you.
No. Okay. Then.
You can move.
I charge at them.
All right, so you go moving up to at least give it another target to attack, but you run out of actions. All right, the creatures go. First off, I have one still fighting Iculus. It is wounded, but still up and still fighting. It's going to attempt to bite you. And that's going to miss. It's then going to swipe at you with a claw. I'm assuming a 17 doesn't hit. Yeah. No, of course not. All right. Then it's going to swipe at you with a claw, and that is actually lower than a 17, so that's not going to hit. And then it's going to try and swipe at you with a claw again. And you know what? You are just too well armored. Its claws go scraping against your armor, but it never manages to connect. Your AC is just too high. So it looks really frustrated, and it's just like, must feast, and it just can't. It can't get past your armor. The last ghoul is now standing next to. It's standing next to Tariel and Omelette. And it has a very difficult decision to make. Which one of you to eat? It's very hard to decide. But you know what? It's been attacking Tariel, so it's going to continue attacking Tariel.
I guess.
If you gotta.
If you must. It's going to attempt to bite you. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Again? No!
No, it's a 19. So that's going to be an armor class of 30.
That is mine's 20. Oh no.
So it crits you on the bite. Its jaws. Its jaws like get around your shoulder and just you can feel like hot, wet blood pouring down, and you can hear it slurping as it bites into you.
Ugh.
Take 18 points of damage.
I don't wanna. But I'm doing it.
Now, I need you to roll me 2 fortitude saves. The first one from the vile ichor in its mouth.
Oh! You have rerolls.
Take it.
So everybody started out with just 1 hero point this time around, and Tariel just spent hers.
Are you freaking?
Is it another one?
No.
No, but it's not great.
At least it's not a 1.
Well, it's a 14.
A 14.
Another one.
All right. A 14, well, at least it's not a 1. And now give me the other fortitude save.
That's better. That is a 26.
All right. The chill begins to spread through your body, but you shake it off. You're not sure whether or not that other fortitude save was a success or not. Only time will tell.
Oh, I don't like that. I can fix it.
Wait.
Taking time ghoul.
Oh no, I can fix it.
Not the. That's not the only.
I can fix it.
Not the only one.
Wait, you're also.
I got bit. I have no idea if I passed that check.
I can fix
No
you.
clue.
You're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. And
As the flames rise.
and now it attacks you with a claw,
No. Okay.
but that's going to miss.
Oh, good.
And it's going to swipe at you with a claw one last time. It is an agile weapon, so that's going to be an armor class of 20.
Okay, well, that hits.
Yeah.
I tried
The
to take
claw connects for 7.
It's okay. This is
Give
fine.
me another fortitude.
Okay, let me do this. Which one treated me well? It was you. 18.
18. You managed to shake it off.
Nice.
All right.
Hallelujah.
That is all the ghouls. Linnaeus.
Okay. Well, oh shoot. Yeah, it might be overkill, but I'm gonna go and cast Searing Light on the one that's attacking.
Oh my.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that requires you to make an attack roll.
It does indeed.
A ray of blinding light emerges from your fingers.
19.
19. It's just barely going to hit.
Whoo! I need 2 d6s. Can I steal 2?
Oh, yes.
And it's undead.
Yeah.
I get to do this twice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fire damage, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 positive energy.
Love it.
Get out.
So,
Get out.
yeah, no, well done. The blast of light almost blinds the two of you. It's like, what just happened? And when your vision clears, you look back and all there is a small smoking pile of ash.
Blow it away.
It's gone. There is nothing left of it.
Wow.
Damn.
I said it was going to be overkill. I'm sorry. I have 1 action left, and I'm
Yep.
going to cast healing on you.
Thank you.
Give you a little healing since you just took a lot of damage. You get 5.
Thank you.
Is that just from the staff?
Yes, it is. Or no, it's not from. Yes, it is from the staff. That's right.
All right. That was Linnaeus. Iculus, there's but one left. And it is facing you. You knew it would end this way. I would assume.
I don't care. I'm ready.
All right. There's no more dancing, no more tactics.
No more tactics.
Yeah.
Let's get down to brass tacks. 18. Plus 12, 30.
That is a critical hit.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
My dice
Yes.
are doing great.
So, go ahead and roll that d12 plus the d6 plus 4.
Plus 4. That's going to be a 12, 16.
32 points of damage.
Get me behind me.
Go. Wait.
Yeah, it is like must feed, and you just drop your blade right through the
like
top of it,
must
and it just kind of bisects. And that is the end of those things. They are all dead. Well done. All right, so the last of the undead things have been dispatched. The poor refugees who you were traveling with spent most of that combat, by the way, kind of screaming and panicking and hiding behind the wagon.
What was Unkir doing?
Unkir was actually trying to keep them safe and was like holding the ground in front of the wagon just in case anything came that way.
Right.
Unkir looks knowledgeable about what's going on, but Unkir looks really green. In her training, when those things came out, those of you who ran past her could see her kind of shaking with the blade in her hand. Brave, but clearly a little inexperienced.
I have a thing I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to try and make a medicine check on these two
Okay.
to see if I can figure out what if they're okay,
Okay.
if there's anything lingering, and also then if either a restoration or a restore senses would help that.
Okay. So let's start off with a medicine check. So you can use medicine to kind of treat diseases and identify them and treat poisons and all kinds of stuff with medicine.
29.
29. Who are you looking at first?
Probably Liz because they were hit first.
Okay. So you go to check out their wounds, and they look clean. They look fine.
Okay.
Nothing unusual about them.
Okay.
Thank you very much, mon cher.
I'm trying. 25.
25.
Ontario.
Tariel's wounds don't look so good. It's I'll be honest here. It's really hard to tell the difference. I mean, these wounds happened 20 seconds ago. So, there's not much difference except for the fact that Tariel's look really deep. It looks like the bite went really far into like the muscle of like the shoulder. And that doesn't look good. You're not sure how that's going to do. Whereas most of Liss's wounds were pretty surface.
Okay. So I don't get the sense that there's anything else going on? Just from my roll alone that it's like
the type of wound that Toriel suffered is one that might very easily fester.
Okay.
But you're not sure.
I'm gonna spend
So until if there is anything wrong, until it presents itself, really kind of no spells or anything are really going to help. But you can attempt medicine kind of long term to treat those sorts of things. But that's really hard to do while you're on the road.
Yeah, and it's a full hour. Okay.
All right. So the Starlight didn't run too far.
Okay.
Because this is a pretty dense forest. The horse
I already gave that task to someone else.
kind of bolted far away, and Lucky, who's still in the back of the wagon, is like, "Hey, your horse went that way."
Told you.
Jerk.
As I'm just sitting
Hey!
next to the
You're
wagon.
not my boss.
As I'm
But you are a member of our team, and if we ask you to do something, you might as well contribute in some way.
I was here protecting the villagers.
That's not your. Oh,
In fact, that was exactly my job. Remember, we all got the same orders.
Oh,
protect
shut
the
up.
villagers. I don't recall anything about protecting horses.
You're useless.
Does anyone have silence?
The horse is transferred
I
and
need protection or I'm gonna break you.
Oh.
You give me an intimidate check.
You
Okay.
would.
Please intimidate him.
I'm gonna.
Sucker into shape.
13. That's a
Plus.
13?
25.
25.
Good.
He's like, he kind of squeaks a little and just kind of stares at you. Well, geez, you don't have to threaten me. I mean,
Do something.
I smile.
he kind of passes wind. He's like, I'm sorry.
That's not what I meant.
Disgusting.
I look at the remains and just sort of do the religion check on what the hell these things are.
That was actually gonna be. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so
thinking the same thing.
you know what?
lot of different kinds of dead
Let's
things.
start. Omelet, why don't you go ahead and give me a religion check, please?
While they're doing that stuff on the outside, I want to start moving
Inside?
inside to
All right.
take a look.
Before they.
Can I help her?
23.
Well, we'll see whether or not she makes it or not first.
23.
So the 23 gets you just enough knowledge to kind of know what these things are. These are, and you're not 100% sure, there is a type of vile undead that feeds on the flesh of the living called a ghoul. And these are probably their more powerful cousins called ghasts.
Ghasts.
Ugh.
But to be honest, you don't know much about them other than what they are. And one little fact that a touch from one of them can paralyze you.
Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Can I do two things?
Sure.
I want to use one of my healing fonts to heal these two before they leave my
Oh, I'm
side.
okay. You don't need to heal me.
Oh, well, it's too late anyways, so...
You will take the
8.
healing.
It's just 8 points, but
I appreciate you, though.
not nothing.
You're doing such a great job.
Thank you.
And that'll probably hit everybody because you can
good.
gather everybody
Yes,
together
then I'm going to
before
do that,
goes
and
off,
then
yeah.
I would also like to look at this.
You two can give me a religion check, and it sounded like Iculus, you wanted to as well. So why don't both of you give me a religion check?
Both going to look at one.
And
Poke it.
And you're heading inside. Toria, what are you up
technically
to?
on the
I
tree?
mean,
I was
it's
gonna go
in the
inside
box.
with Liz.
Two of you doing the inside duty. All right.
So that's a 28 on religion.
Too.
28. The two of you are like, they cause disease. And you kind of high five.
Together we're smart.
So these are definitely ghasts. They are the more powerful, dangerous version. They are very fast. They're very agile. They can jump long distances. They can feed off the flesh of the dead to heal themselves. Their bite carries a pretty nasty disease that over time will turn you into a ghast.
Ooh, do I know how to cure that?
It's just a matter of good medicine. You don't believe you have... You would need a powerful spell that removes disease.
Okay.
There are such magics, but you can also attempt to treat it with medicine.
I will. I'm going to start immediately.
So treating a disease with medicine, though, takes a while. Like, a very long while. It takes, 8 hours
Yeah, no.
of
I'm good
continuous
with that.
treatment.
Yep.
Okay?
Right, Omnit sort of stands up and just says, I'm gonna go check and see if there's any supplies. And as I'm walking up, I'm sort of fiddling in my pocket.
All right. So, let's go over to the two of you. You make your way inside this kind of just like hunter's outpost.
still on guard with my
Sure.
bow out. Yeah.
You make your way inside, and it becomes very clear that this was a tiny little outpost that was, buttoned up in the middle of the forest. And you see the bodies. There are 3 soldiers. They look just like hunters, though. They're not in heavy mail or anything like that. They look like hunters. And 2 of them were desperately trying to batter open the door of the thing from the inside. They were trying to get out. It looks like the bar was too heavy for them to move, and they were trying to bash the door out. But it looks like they were cut down from behind. And unfortunately, it looks like a lot of them got eaten.
Liz just takes a moment to sort of acknowledge the dead and they don't have any specific particular beliefs or anything like that, but they believe at least in respecting the dead. So it's they actually kind of look back as they notice you coming in and sort of indicate them to you. And I'm guessing you are kind of tagging along to take care of Tariel. Mm-hmm. And then I also indicate the dead to you. I don't know if there's any particular rites or anything like that. I know nothing about, but you know a lot about them, and you...
Sure, but that's my god. I don't know what theirs was, but we can sort of give
But
them a general proper burial.
Do you know anything about what the knights do as their last rites?
Do I know what the last rites?
Most of the knights of Lastwall worship Iomedae. Iomedae is a relatively new goddess in the grand scheme of things. She was promoted to godhood after the Shining Crusade, which she fought in.
Oh.
And became a deity afterwards, which is why Lastwall kind of has her as their patron.
Sure.
So a lot venerate Iomedae, a lot venerate Serenray because she's vigilant against undead. So something like that. But in either case, most of the funerary rites are pretty straightforward. It's burial, okay. And prayers and things like that. That's kind of it. Now, I should also note that in here, so you've got the walls, you've got the lookout tower. Nestled against the back wall, kind of underneath the lookout tower, is a lodge, right? It's not a huge building. It's maybe 40 feet by 20 feet or something. And it takes up almost that entire side. Like most of this interior courtyard between the walls is this lodge. And then there's this little triangle space outside of it that is the kind of front area where these guards were trying to batter their way out of their own front door, desperate to try and escape whatever was inside.
Right. Well, I take out my axe and I start burrowing in the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking.
All right.
through that
I'll
too.
start praying to Sarah and Ray, also just to connect with her, because there's quite potentially a very dangerous lich on the loose, and she should know, even if she's not going to do anything, she should know.
Yeah, the gods of Galarian, of the world of Lost Omens, tend not to interfere with the affairs of mortals, but they do meddle in the ways that they can, which is through their emissaries. It's through agents like you. So you offer up your prayers. You pray to Sarah and Ray and about the plight of the world, and it at the very least gives you succor. So you are able to kind of dig a bit of a hole. After a few moments, you kind of take a look around and realize there is a shovel nearby instead of using an axe. So you're able to. I mean, if you feel like it, if you just want to keep, axing the hole.
I assumed it sort of, I'm pretty strong.
Yeah. No, you're just gonna split the earth open. No, yeah, you're able to dig a hole. It takes a little bit. The villagers outside are getting
I'm
a
the
little
only one
restless.
digging it,
They're a
right?
little worried. Does anybody do anything with the ghoul corpses? Just gonna get rid of those.
I want to burn them.
All right.
Yeah, we don't want them to.
I've headed back to the lodge to kind of take a look in there really fast.
All right. So, some of you are gathering up the bodies to burn them. That sounds reasonable. Digging holes. Are you going in?
I was hoping to take some of the linen I took from the merchant cart
Absolutely.
to wrap the bodies in.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, that's very respectful. All right. So you're able to kind of wrap up some of the bodies, and after it takes about an hour to get everything ready, you're able to lay them to rest and offer them prayers and put their souls at ease. Liz, you make it inside the lodge itself, and the lodge isn't really in terrible shape. It's not a huge building or anything. It's not gigantic. It's pretty much a lodge space where there's some bunks, there's a table, there's a larder. There are some supplies in here. This is a hunter's lodge, so there are like half a dozen tents, and they're kind of the larger ones. Yeah. There are some hardtack supplies. There are some simple bows. They're just basic short bows, and a couple buckets full of arrows. So there's stuff like that. I wouldn't say this is a hardened military outpost by any means, but it does have a decent amount of supplies. With the food in here, if everyone was eating it, you would eat through it in a day. Mm-hmm. If you're a little bit more careful with it and you supplement it with some hunting, knowing your survival skills, you're able to look at it and kind of think you can probably make it stretch for a few days with minimal hunting and kind of lighter food.
But I am also
Rations
thinking
for everybody.
that there are possibly a few people amongst the villagers who have the ability to do a bit of hunting as well. So I want to take a few of the bows and some of the arrows and see if I can find anyone among the villagers with any sort of basic skill.
Sure.
And of course, I want to load up the tents because we should be able to sleep under something.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be enough in here to probably house most of us.
At the very least, some of the older refugees or some of the sick. Right.
Yeah, it'd be good to give them some cover,
Sure.
especially if we have run into some bad weather.
Sure. All right.
So I actually want to, in a way, to help distract some of the villagers who are probably a little bit nervous, to help mobilize them to move some of these supplies into the cart. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe giving them something to do will help ease their mind a little bit.
All right. You start doing that. I'm assuming you don't really let the refugees up there until the bodies are buried and stuff like that. You no need to freak them out more than they already are.
I think we do. At least one of us needs to communicate to Ankir that, like, to keep them back for the time being, and then
I'll do that.
Yeah.
All right. Sir Falmer is there too, and he's like, "Oh, what? My eyes fail me. It seemed like there was quite a bit of a struggle. Is everyone okay?"
No problem at all. No problem. We're all okay. Everyone's okay. Are you okay?
Oh, well, I'm quite tired. We were up very early, and All of this doesn't do well on my old bones, but I suppose it's better than the sad fate of the rest. As long as we can see them to safety. And he kind of looks back with, rummy eyes at villagers he can't quite see, but he's dedicated to protect.
I can assure you, you're safe with us.
Yeah. Who else is out there, by the way? It's you out with the villagers and stuff. Yeah, you're out there. You're going to swear you see Lucky, who's kind of behind him, being like...
What a jerk.
Oh, you're horrible.
No, and then Iculus he feels Lucky behind him and he just goes. Just one quick jab.
All right. Yeah.
This halfling will not survive us.
Not with that attitude.
We will take him out.
All right.
Thanks so much.
So you're able to gather up supplies. You're also able to find a rudimentary map that's tacked up on one of the walls that shows some of the trails that lead through the forest. They're not great. They're mostly game trails and hunters trails, so they're not super wide. Especially when you get to the deeper part of the forest. The trails in the deeper part are literally marked as game trails, which are, if you've ever been on a game trail, it's like single file and it's just between the brush. It's where deer have walked for long enough that there's actually a trail.
Is there a path that seems to lead in a fairly direct direction towards the river?
Yeah, well, so as a matter of fact, there are a kind of a crisscross of old trails that lead all throughout the northern Fangwood. And there is, not direct, but there is a route that leads toward Kassen.
Okay. Well, I am not entirely sure that Kassen is a safe option for us anymore. So I'm definitely going to bring the map out to deliberate with the rest of the party to see what our next step is. But for now, I'm trying to get as much stuff kind of situated. Are we going to make camp here? Are we going to move? Because it's obvious that everyone is very tired.
Yeah, it's unfortunately only like noon though.
Yeah. Do we want to at least sit and rest and kind of get our bearings for a moment here and make a plan for what we should do next?
We could take a moment, but
yeah.
I think it's best we should keep going.
moving.
The dead can't rest, so neither should I.
Yeah.
I mean, there is that.
For now, let's just head in the direction that we've been going.
They're out there.
Figure out things as we go.
And they're marching.
Oh, and if we are going to set these bodies alight, that is going to draw some attention. So we should move away from.
It's noon. They won't see the fire.
Well, you've already lit the bodies,
Yeah, they're already there.
and they emitted kind of a greasy black smoke that rose up into the sky.
Honestly, that might have bought us some time towards Kassen. Because I might see the smoke and come heading back and stop heading towards town.
We might miss them.
All right. Well, then let's keep a southerly.
All right.
Maybe you can set another one of them traps, so we know if they came back to investigate.
Another alarm?
We know if it bought us some time.
Okay, I'll set an alarm underneath one of the bodies
All right.
just to see in case they come back.
Don't want to waste any daylight.
Yes.
All right. So you're able to cast your alarm spell, and I just want to check one thing about it, just so that I know I'm playing it right, for no particular reason.
20-foot radius.
Yep,
and it's
20-foot
8
radius, 8 hours. Yep.
So leave them bodies burning.
And did we get Starlight back?
Yes.
Oh, we did.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
No thanks to
Got to earn my...
No, absolutely no
Trust
thanks to
back.
Lucky at all. All right. So you begin making your way south.
I'm going to keep treating her while we go.
All right. You find that is incredibly difficult to actually do. You're probably going to have to wait until you stop for the evening.
Even in the
to
wagon?
do. Oh, if you're both in the wagon, you can do it. Yeah. All right.
That's my healing
All right. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
area.
I'm leaving
right.
the wagon.
All right.
I am
Building more of a trust with them horses.
So you begin making your way south. From looking at the map, you would guess that Kassen is probably about 2 days away. You can, going through the Fangwood like this, it's probably going to take you, at the speed that you're going, 2, maybe 3 days, depending on how bad the trail gets. So you turn your wagon deeper into the woods and begin making your way. The day kind of rolls by. The townsfolk take the plight of the march with, what cheeriness they can. They are fleeing from the dead. So, as long as they can still put one foot in front of the other, that is victory.
If I see game as we are going along, I want to try to.
Sure. Yeah. So that's a function of survival. So you can spend some periods here and there to spend some time doing survival tactics to gather food. Go ahead and give me a survival check. Let's see how successful you are. Anyone else who is trained at least in survival can do this as well.
That will be a 30.
A 30. That's a critical success. That's going to get you quite a bit of food. You managed to bring down quite a large stag with a good rack of antlers and.
Good job.
Yeah, no, that's quite good. You come back to the caravan with like this giant deer.
Bigger than me.
Yeah.
Well, throw it up on the wagon. We'll take care of it. Well,
I trust you. You've got this.
I'll try.
You have the skill of a surgeon. You can definitely take apart an animal.
That's true.
Butchering an animal is like medicine, just in reverse.
Yes, it's a surgery. I can do surgery. I'm good at medicine.
You just don't have to put it back together when you.
No, I don't.
All right,
It's
yeah.
even
so-
easier.
It's like doing
Lower deep.
it's like doing half a surgery. All right. So
Or Edgelord Alley.
this is no good. All right. So moving on. You managed to butcher the elk and gather a fair amount of.
Don't make it sound so sad.
Well, you are butchering it into meat so that you can eat it. Sure. Yeah. So you managed to get a fair amount of meat out of the elk, and as the wagon is making its way south, you're also able to treat Tariel for any illness she might have. I'm going to make a medicine check on your behalf.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't get to know whether or not this succeeds or not.
I'm just gonna keep doing it until it succeeds.
What's your bonus?
Plus 13.
All right.
Secret checks. I love it.
All right. So you spend the day treating the wounds as best you can. You think you're doing pretty well, but only time will tell.
Okay.
These sorts of illnesses oftentimes take time to manifest. So
I'm just gonna keep doing it tomorrow too. I'm gonna keep doing it every day for like 5 days.
every minute of every day,
Yeah.
she's just like,
Yeah.
"Are you sick yet?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you sick? Is
How's
that
it
festering?" Yeah.
Just shots. Just
All right.
Not a pain as yesterday. Still pretty fresh.
Oh, I'm healing you.
So, late in the evening, late in the afternoon, you find yourself in a part of the woods where the map doesn't seem to make sense.
Merde.
You reach a point and you're like, where are we? Is that the path? Is that the path? And to top it off, it's dusk, so it's even harder to kind of make out, okay, I think the sun's that way, north.
I wish I had somebody here to guide me. Sometimes it is. I miss.
Well, you have two choices right now. You can either decide to just call it a night, start resting now. It's a little early. You could probably go for another hour or so. Or you can try and push on, but that's going to require survival checks to try and figure out where you are, and those are going to be at a penalty.
Yeah, I actually want to take a quick check-in with Linnaeus. Have you gotten a ping or anything?
Oh, you want me to use it?
No.
It's not like a constant.
No, I just have you felt anything?
Oh, the alarm. No, I have not.
The reason I am asking.
It's been about 4 hours now.
Yeah.
It's a halfway there.
Yeah, I only ask because the map does not make any sense. From here, we either, wander. Hopefully, I can get us through it and it's okay. Or we stop now and wait until it is more light so that I can see a little bit better. But I wanted to check with you to make sure that you hadn't felt any tinglings.
No, nothing.
We don't know where we're going.
I mean, I would do my best to get us there safely, but it is a risk.
What are you rolling over there?
Nothing that you need to worry about. Okay. I'm just checking my dice, making sure they still work.
Right.
All right. As
Sure.
it turns out, they do.
I can see
alright.
quite well in the dark. Doesn't bother me none, so I'm gonna go have a look for myself, so just a nice
Just going to kind of wander around.
walking look, see.
All right.
Yeah, bit of a chat.
Don't go too far.
Bit of a chat. all right.
I'm going to come with you because then I can aid you.
Oh, then maybe not a chat.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, a chat.
Don't worry. Keep talking. You're coming with me, okay? Good. We're gonna look together.
What is it that you are hiding from me?
What do you mean? I didn't say that out loud.
Okay.
I didn't say that out loud. Don't worry. If anything, you'd see me just fiddling in my pocket. So,
Okay.
sort of like, oh, you're okay.
I mean, two sets of eyes are better than one.
That's definitely true. 2 sets of eyes. That's all we getting. 2. Let's go.
All right. So yeah, I would like to make an initial survival check to see if I can discern a path with the aid of the
Lucky's
person who can actually see
up
in
on the
dark.
wagon looking at that exchange going, that's weird.
Yeah.
I got a -1 in charisma, so I'm good at this talking thing.
Weird.
Talk to my beetle. This one's Dio.
No, yeah.
Small one. He's called a jeweled beetle.
No, he's very nice.
Bright green and beautiful.
He's very nice.
He's got an attitude problem.
He does.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's a
Don't
serious.
get too close. He'll fly into your eyeball. I'm not kidding.
All right.
Dio, calm down. Sorry,
get a
he
little
didn't mean to be rude.
Listen, and he's talking to the two of you have kind of left, and Lucky's now talking to the 3 of you who are kind of on the back of the wagon. The wagon stopped for the moment, and the refugees are all kind of behind the wagon. They've taken a seat. Many of them are like taking off shoes and dumping rocks out and stuff. And Lucky kind of looks at the 3 of you and he goes, "Listen, you know what would go much faster? Leave them behind."
No,
Not happening.
no, we are not. How about we just leave you behind in the
Yeah.
middle of 200 undead?
I'm not slow like they are.
How about I just pick you
We'd
up
be
and
at
chuck you
Kassen.
into
We'd be
the-
Kassen tomorrow
What do you
afternoon.
even do here?
No,
What do I do?
you're not helpful at all.
I'm the one with the common sense.
Oh, terrible. Oh, you're terrible.
That's me.
No,
I'm the one with the common sense.
no, you're not. We are not leaving them behind. End of discussion. Period. Nope.
Can we?
Nope.
What happened?
End of discussion.
Can we?
Did I stutter? I said end of discussion.
Fine, whatever. Fine. When we all get eaten, I'm gonna scream, "Boy, I sure am glad we're getting eaten with all them. It's better to be part of a buffet."
Can I roll a performance check to intimidate him into silence?
Make that both of them.
You could actually just do a performance check just to drown him out.
I'm going
Yeah.
to do that,
You
but
could
I'm
just-
going to be staring at him like this the entire time.
And I have intimidation,
imagining like a-
so
All right. You can be kind
I'll
of
be standing behind her.
Yeah, you can kind of be rising up behind her, just looking at him intimidatingly, and you're playing your violin to intimidate him.
Well, I got a 20, so
Oh, no. Shut up forever.
yeah.
24.
All right, so you're playing this like kind of haunting music and looking at him like a murderer.
Yeah.
And then behind you, rising up is the masked form of Iculus, and he's just like,
I want art.
I don't feel so good. I'm gonna go. And he just kind of he
And I take his lips and just close them.
And then I
With my
pause the
fingers.
music and I put a hand on his shoulder and sit him down in the wagon.
You stand back up. I'm going to shove you off a chair.
Just a single tear just down Lucky's foot.
Let the group speak.
I'm so sad I didn't see any of this.
he may have just peed a little. All right, yeah. Just a little. It's fine. Just a little. All right.
You ready to go for your walk? So
So you can see in the dark a lot
Sure.
better than I can.
yeah, I'll do the perception.
This
You
is
do the
around
survival.
this is around where the path is is kind of muddled. So if we head in this direction and you...
Sure. I'll do the reference, see what's top
Do you
secret.
both have survival?
No, I'm doing perception.
Oh, okay. So you're looking out
I'm looking
for-
out. They're keeping us safe.
Oh, all right. Sure. All right, go ahead.
What? Oh, that was such a good one. not as great, but not that bad.
I rolled a 23 for survival.
A 23. All right.
27.
27. All right. So you take a very solid look around, and Liz, you're not sure of the direction to go. If you left right now, you'd have to kind of almost pick at random. That it's too dark, and it's getting too difficult for you to kind of make sense of the map. So you're not sure that moving right now is the best idea.
Right, so there's a bush there.
However,
That does match the map.
Omelet.
Yeah.
Off in the distance,
I just love that name.
you see
I keep forgetting.
you see what might be a shack in the woods. You're not sure. It might be a trick of the light.
No, I trust my eyes. that might be a house. Some sort.
Oh.
Well, not as nice as a house. Maybe like a
A
shed. No, not a shed. A shack.
I wonder if it's a... Never mind, I'm not going to say it.
Nope.
What?
Nothing, never mind.
So what would you going to say?
It is not important. I will tell you later.
Oh, I don't like being left out
I
of
got
jokes.
that reference.
All right.
For now, I think it is probably better. You can see it, but I cannot, and I do not think I can safely guide us through the woods.
No, but I can. I can see where we're going, and I can just relay where we're going, and we get everyone to a safe spot, or we're not out in the open.
Do you think that shack is safe?
I don't know. We got it looked at.
There's one way to find out.
There is one way to find out.
So are you
My
and I
brain
going
says.
to scout ahead really quickly and then maybe backtrack? They do have
Sure.
plenty of protection.
I extend my hand.
Let's go, love.
All right. The two of you make your way through the woods up toward the shack. And it is just kind of a shack. It looks like it's about 20 feet by 10 feet. It's a small wooden building. The windows are just shutters. There's no glass or anything. It's just shuttered.
It's safe.
The door is just like half split logs lashed together with like a pull rope handle. It doesn't look like there's a lock or anything like that. And there is a chimney, but there's no smoke coming out of it. You don't see any light coming from the inside.
Maybe it is abandoned?
But there is a clear path up to the front door that leads back towards the path that looks like there's no way it's been abandoned because that path is still pretty fresh.
Somebody lives here.
Is that shack there on the map?
But it is not on the map.
No, not at all.
The thing that is interesting, it is possible that this is a recent addition and they have erased the trail in order to keep people from coming up to their house unawares.
That's an excellent idea. Can we peek into shutters there? There's nothing.
I can't see anything, so you're going to have to do it.
That's right. I'll go do it. I've got the eyes. Let's go. Me and my eyes, I say to myself.
But I am going to kind of trail behind you to make sure.
Yeah, you
that
follow
nobody-
behind.
Yes,
All right.
I am not going.
You and your eyes approach one of the shutters, and they're not well made, so it's easy to find a spot where there's a gap wide enough for you to take a peek. And looking inside, you see what's best described as kind of just like a residence for like a lone dweller in the woods. There is a hearth on one side that leads to the fireplace. There's an old rusty-looking cookpot on top of it. Hanging from the rafters are various herbs and a number of drying furs that look like they have been skinned. On one of the tables nearby, there's like 4 rabbits just laying on the table. Those look like they were probably put here pretty recently, right? I mean, they're not rotting or anything like that.
Sure.
At least not that you can tell.
Is there any
leftover embers in any lamps lit? Or is it...
No, it's pretty dark in there. You don't see anybody, though. I mean, it's possible they're hiding or in the corners of the room, but you don't see anybody.
Sure, but I'd have no reason to know we were coming.
Yes, but the moment you mentioned that it appears that those rabbits are fresh, I am immediately turning on, like, ears, making sure that there is no sounds that I don't recognize in the woods.
What is your perception bonus?
My perception bonus is plus 30.
Okay. You don't hear anything.
I imagine whoever lives here is quite a skilled hunter.
That is very good, but if they are a skilled hunter, they might also be a skilled hider.
Sure, definitely. If you're hunting, you need to be able to hide. But the good thing is, Sorry. The good thing is, it appears that they're eating, game and not people.
Well, it is good that they are not undead, but we should probably not try to take their food from them. That is
No, that's so rude entering someone else's home and taking their food from
Plus,
them.
we have that big old elk that I caught earlier. We are going to be fine. But perhaps this is why the path has gone funny.
Sure, maybe they got magic and they're messing with the map, or not the map, but our version of the world. Maybe they're making themselves hidden so.
And maybe we don't go that far into the speculation.
We've been attacked by so many... We've been knighted for literally a few hours, and we've already seen 3, count them, 3 separate undead.
That being said, this person is not undead. This person is probably just wants to be left alone.
No, but maybe they can help us through the woods. Maybe we should leave them a note so, like, hey, friendly, don't hunt us. Help us.
Well, we are only backed about, 50, 60, 100.
Actually, after you made your way all the way out here and kind of took a look around and then made your way all to the shack, you're more like a quarter mile away from where you're camped.
I mean, is the best thing that we should probably do is backtrack, let them know that we have found where the path is supposed to lead.
Sure. I'm still gonna leave them a note. And
Can you even write?
I know how to spell.
Forgive the insult, I just wanted to check.
All right, so keep things moving along. What's what note are you leaving?
The note basically says, if friendly, please help.
All right.
If bad.
I mean, I didn't enter their home, so I'm just sort of writing it in
Yeah.
the dirt on the front of their doorstep. So, if friendly, please help.
All right. Okay, and you're just like leaving it on the door.
No, I'm writing it on the dirt in front of the door.
Oh, all right.
Because I don't have a pen.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So,
arrow to let them
oh
know
yes,
which
but
direction
well,
that
if they're not friendly, they shouldn't know in direction we are. But
how
they're
are
tracking us.
supposed to find us if they don't know where we are.
You're right. We'll just make it easy for
You're
them.
the one.
Arrow.
You're the one who believes in hope, right?
Signed.
No,
The
don't. put
Knights of the if you're pointing it out, we might as well identify ourselves. Signed, the Knights of the Lastwall.
All right. So you've left your message, your incredibly valuable message, and you have left your message, and you make your way back to the camp. By the time you arrive, the refugees and Sir Falmer and Private Unkir have made camp. They found a bit of a clearing off the path and have made a bit of camp. They're
cooking the elk.
Yeah, absolutely. They are all. You can smell some roasting elk. The folk are enjoying a bit of potatoes. What food they have. Some of the hardtack and stuff from the hunter's cabin.
We can make a decent porridge with that hardtack.
You kind of break it up, at least get something in there. But yeah, it's meager food, but it's not nothing. So you're all able to get yourself situated and bed down for the night. You break out the tents and stuff.
First watch.
All right.
Just in case the messenger comes.
Because you are the
know who to
one.
talk to.
You are the one with the good eyes, so you should definitely stay up first in the dark of the night. Who would like to?
I'll take second.
All right.
Third.
I'll go forward.
All
Or
right.
we can pair up. It's probably safer the other way. I'll take first watch with you.
All right.
Uncure offers to take a late night watch as well. She says, I have good eyes. I can see in the dark.
Then you should probably take second watch.
All right. Okay. So, the evening progresses. The refugees eat food. Sir Falmer reads hymns to all of them out of his holy book of Iomade, although it's clear with his bad eyes that he's not reading them from the book. He just has them memorized. He uses the book as just kind of a tool. And the townsfolk seem pleased and happy by that. About an hour and a half later, your alarm goes off.
Oh.
Oh,
Are you on watch? Who's on?
Are we still on watch?
This is still first watch.
First
yeah.
watch.
I'm awake now. The alarm went off.
Oh.
Sorry, what'd you say?
The alarm went off. My
Oh.
alarm went off. Something out there is moving.
All right, I'll go wake everyone.
But this is the thing. They are now, what, 6 or 7 hours behind us?
Well, something is.
Yeah. But that means that we have somehow maybe cleared a little bit of the danger. Hopefully.
We should sleep as little as possible.
I think that from now on, it is probably better that... this is difficult. I have to figure out a way to make sure that we are not trackable to the force, but I also need to guide you, and I cannot do both. But are either of any of you able in some way, shape, or form to read a map?
Well, if I go to sleep, I can pick up a spell
can
that'll
read
tell...
the
Wait. If I go to sleep, I can pick up a spell that'll tell me where north is at all times.
Weren't you just asleep, Darren?
For half a minute.
No, it's
get
been a
that much
good
sleep.
almost 2 hours.
Yeah. But
Check
that's
enough
not.
watch?
But that's not enough sleep.
Yeah.
To re-prepare spells, you need to get a full night's rest.
Oh.
So now you
So,
go back to sleep and
Okay.
we'll stay on watch. We'll wake you up.
We'll
when
stay.
you're rest.
all right,
I'm not particularly tired at the moment.
all right,
We was having a nice chat there.
sure.
Just
I have
be.
questions for you, Andrew.
I'm going to wake up, move a little bit into the forest towards where we came from, and then do an alarm at another 30...
You have a second alarm prepared? As a cleric, you have to prepare each one of those. So if you have one prepared, that's going to be the only one you have to cast. Yeah, no worries.
Never mind.
All right.
I am not going to do that.
All right, so you've cast the one alarm, and that's spent, so you have no way of knowing if anything's drawing close now. And that alarm did go off. So you try to bed back down and get more sleep, more rest. The night continues to roll on. About midnight comes. This is during second watch. Who was on second watch with Uncure?
I believe it was...
It was supposed to be you,
Linnaeus.
but
Yeah, it was
I'll
supposed to be me.
stay or wake you up.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, so it's
Linnaeus can get a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
Iculus and Uncure. All right, the two of you are keeping watch, and you're just kind of sitting back to back, right? That way you can look in either direction while everybody else around you sleeps. And suddenly the night is split by a howl.
You hear that?
She's like, I have ears, of course I heard that. Is that a wolf? It did sound like a wolf's howl. And it didn't sound very far away. Shing! She draws her blade. Should we wake the others?
No, not yet. Iculus and Uncure.
Yeah.
Iculus goes out. That just goes out because we're inside the
Yeah.
goes out of the wagon
Yeah, sure.
just to check out what's going on, see if there's
Alright.
anything around.
All right. So you kind of hop off the wagon, and there's not really much light to speak of. Although, with your eyes, I'm assuming you at least have a little something out, like your torch is like at least down in the wagon, so that right around there's some light, because otherwise you can't see anything. But through the forest trees up above, there is some rays of moonlight coming down. It is relatively bright tonight. The moon is very bright in the night sky, and as you look. Coming down the path from the direction that you're heading, so coming from that way, not the direction you came, but the direction you're heading, you see a figure walking up the path.
That's nobody with us.
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody with you is in camp.
No. Okay.
We told them, right?
No,
I'd like to think so, but
you didn't mention it, so... So, a figure comes walking up.
Hey!
All right, are you giving a shout at the figure?
At the figure.
Or all right.
Is there evil back there?
That's a catchphrase.
Any evil in there?
Any evil in that?
The figure comes walking up, and what you see as he comes closer into the light is a human man. He's dressed in studded leather armor. He has a bow slung over his back. He has a blade that's out. The steel is out. And he's just kind of staring. Depends who's asking, friend. I was told to come give aid.
Told by whom?
Not sure. Someone just left a message out at my cabin. Someone was out there sniffing around.
Message. Omelette.
He knows.
Come on.
He kind of draws closer, and he kind of says, "How many of there are you here?"
No, that's not that.
20.
Unkir's on the back of the wagon, just kind of looking with a concerned look on her face. He's like, that's a lot to feed.
Not rabbits.
He looks up at the moon. And I am
Camping here anyway.
awfully hungry. And as he draws near,
Not what the note said. It said, if friendly, come help.
as he draws near, his face starts to stretch. And fangs start to emerge from his mouth. Fur begins to burst out of his armor. And all of a sudden, what was a strange traveler making his way through the woods has now transformed into a bloodthirsty wolf. But still on its hind legs, still gripping a sword, still wearing armor. And he's like, I've come for a meal.
Awake at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, he started screaming. So everyone who is asleep has woken, but you're prone and in your tents and stuff.
Did
So
we get any spells back? Did I?
oh no, no,
no,
none of that.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, can I get everyone to roll initiative? I'm going to.
oh,
Everyone's going to need to roll perception.
did you do it?
I've got a
Rude.
10, 22 initiative.
Luckily, but do you do the plus thing?
No, I was asleep.
Oh,
Did you initiative and perception?
It's going to be a perception check, yeah, for basically all
I
of
have
you.
to keep myself honest. I was asleep, so I would not have been able to give Scouts warning on that one.
Oh
No, yeah, you're just waking up when the shouting is what wakes you up, but it's the shouting that also starts the combat. So no
like
scouts,
I said,
no scouts.
I'm
warning.
keeping myself honest. On
Yeah,
that one.
fair enough.
what a greedy
All right,
wolf.
I'm gonna go around and get everyone's initiative. Liz,
19.
Omelet,
24.
Linnaeus.
Also 19.
Which one of you would like to go first? Your choice.
I probably have the higher dex than you. I don't know. What is
It's
yours?
still
You can
choice.
just choose to go first.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You go first.
Okay then.
Great. Iculus,
22.
22. Tariel,
21.
Nice.
that's another 21.
One that arrow.
We'll put you there. And I will roll for
Kill us this
Unkir.
Kill us this way?
Unkir's right there.
50-50
Don't get too
chance.
close to it.
I'm not going to roll for Lucky because he's not leaving his tent. All right.
Don't get too close to it.
All right, everybody.
Too close.
Omelet, you're going to get to go first. You bolt up, just kind of bolt upright in your sleeping sack, and you realize there's
axe in
someone
hand.
shouting outside.
I sleep with it.
You sleep with your axe, all right?
Outside, yeah.
Very dangerous, but sure. But you're still
I'm a heavy
prone.
sleeper.
Yeah, you're still like prone. You're gonna have to stand up and move and stuff.
All right, stand up. One action.
Yeah. Yeah.
run outside as far as I can go for another.
Sure.
How far away is he now?
So you get up, get yourself unentangled from the bed. You have to kind of grab the axe in a combat stance. It's not just because you weren't sleeping with it ready to swing it. You were sleeping with it.
No,
and
no,
were
it's more
hugging
like a
it.
teddy.
Yeah. Which means you need to shift into a combat grip, which is an action, and get out. So you get out to see what's going on, and you see this man who is transformed into some sort of wolf, and he looks ready to fight. And but you are now out of actions.
I'm out of actions.
I'm afraid so. Well, let's be honest. The werewolf comes charging
I'm so surprised.
straight up toward you, Iculus, and is going to attempt to hit you with his longsword.
We are very sorry.
He's going to roll let's say that's going to be an armor class 23, which I think misses you by just one. And then he is going to attempt to swing at you with a claw. This is his third action because he had to move. And that is going to be a 25 total. So that is going to hit. Take... Ooh, that is nasty. That is 16 points of damage.
Did I regain any hit points back?
Hit points? Yeah. While traveling? No. Because you were busy treating Tariel for disease.
And,
Not unless you're in the medicine caravan.
Yeah. Okay. So you're still a bit wounded. All right. That is the end of its turn. However, you go next. Iculus, what are you doing?
Retribution.
I figured. It is the last creature to hit you, so your retribution will trigger.
All right.
Yeah, from your blade.
Now, well, these werewolf's not undead, so
No, that's not going to help you here at all.
it's a 4, so that's a 16.
No, that's going to miss.
Oh, wait, is it? Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
4 plus 12 is going to be a 16. So you swing wildly, but you miss. That's only your first action.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
What do you do with your second?
Swinging again.
I am shocked.
So it's just one and then back.
Yeah.
That's a 19
A 19.
plus 12, so that's what, 20, 31?
31
plus
minus 5 is 26.
26.
That is going to hit.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Your axe connects. Go ahead and roll me a d12 plus 4.
No D6.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
wait.
d6 because he's not undead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just the D12?
Yeah, just the d12 plus 4.
So that's going to be a 12.
12. All right. Your blade slams into his side and hot red blood pours out of him and he curses and snarls. You'll pay for that. I'm going to suck the marrow from your bones. Yeah.
Still have an action?
Yeah, you have one left.
Well, let's see. Oh, no, I can't do that.
You could swing again. If you're low on hit points, you could also use lay on hands on yourself. That's only one action.
I'm good.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, good. You were asking if you were healed any earlier. I'm a benevolent GM, so I was just asking. I'm
So
concerned
that's
about your well-being.
I appreciate that. That's a 19. It's not going to.
19?
Yeah.
19 total,
Yeah.
with the penalty and everything. Yeah.
Oh, what's the penalty?
Minus 10.
10 on the third attack, so it's a 9. Yeah, no, that's definitely going to miss. All right, Linnaeus.
Me?
Yeah, you're still in bed. You just kind of bolted upright, so you're prone in a sleeping sack.
Okay, well, I would like to get out of that.
All right, that's one action.
Grab my things.
That's two actions.
Get out of there.
Get out there. Great. All right, Liz.
I will
Nothing.
also-
Nothing.
What?
Meta.
I will also sit bolt upright, curse myself and my family name, and then make my way out of the tent while drawing my bow. And I believe that is all that I can
Yeah,
do.
that's going to be about it. Tariel, you're kind of in that same boat.
Sit up,
Gather your stuff.
grab my rapier.
Yeah.
run out.
All right. Kind of getting out of a sleeping condition really is a pain. You have to kind of grab your stuff and get going. So you're all now out there. You see the werewolf there it is fighting. Private Unkir is going to fire a bow. She has a short bow, and she's going to fire that. She's like, what is that? And just starts firing. The first one is going to hit.
Yay! Yeah.
And she's going to do 3 points of damage with the first arrow. And then she's going to fire again. And that one's going to miss. And she's going to fire again. Natural 20.
Nice.
That's my
Let me actually do the math on this, though, because her bonus isn't that great. So that's 20 plus that minus that is a miss. So the 20 turns it from a miss into a hit. So it's at least still a hit. Yeah. All right. So, because rolling a 20 steps you up a step, so that roll, even with a 20, would have been a miss. The rolling a 20 takes it up to a crit. Or sorry, not a crit, a hit from a miss. All right. So that's going to be another 4 points of damage. So she did 6 points of damage. All right.
Not bad.
So that's
that's not bad.
with my bastard sword in the side and.
Yeah, no, it's taken a bit of damage, but it is still up and fighting. Omelette, we are back to you.
Finish him off.
Great. With every step, that smoky rage envelops my body. And then, do I have to sudden charge? Am I close enough or
You're
not?
close enough just to move, so
Just
it's
to
going to be a
move.
move and an action to rage, so you're down to just one action left, which I think we know what it's going to be.
Disengage.
Sweeping.
Rescinding invitations. That's what we're calling this.
26.
26 is a solid hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
I only said, friendly, come this way. Oh, that's a terrible roll. 6, 7, 8, 9, 13.
13. Still decent, respectable amount of damage.
Is respectable. Could have been better.
Your axe buries itself into the creature's side, but it is still up and fighting. And now it goes. The first thing it's going to do is swing its jaws. It's going to attempt to bite Iculus. Armor class 26.
You guys
Very well.
need to stop getting diseased.
Told you that. Let's.
It's how I got this job. They were like, who's gonna work to design the new version of Pathfinder? And we all got together and we all rolled dice. And the four of us that rolled the highest, we made the new game. All right. So that is going to do 13 points of damage.
You doing all right over there?
And I need
Struggle
you to
town.
make a fortitude save.
God, you're both gonna be diseased as heck. Don't do this.
Diseased as heck.
Got to fail. No, you've got to win. Sorry, I went the wrong
Well,
way.
that's a 16 to 28.
Oh,
All right.
Nice.
That's a pretty good number, wouldn't you think? That sounds pretty good.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
All right. Yeah. That's great.
No, I would think. I would
You're fine.
think you would.
All right, moving on.
What was that?
No, you're fine. All right.
I don't like it.
I don't like this at all.
All right. Then it's going to swipe at you with a claw. And that is going to hit a armor class. Let's see, that would be 28 minus 5 is a 23, so that's going to miss. And it's going to take the third attack at you as well, and that's also going to miss. So it swings wildly at you and is trying to rip you to pieces with its ferociousness, but it doesn't manage to succeed. Iculus, it is your turn.
What I want to do first, lay on hands.
That's one action, so you regain 18. I don't even think you have to roll for that.
Okay,
You just get 18 hit points back.
perfect.
All right?
So that's happening.
So that has now been used.
Yeah.
And sometime after the fight, you can spend 10 minutes to refocus, and then you can cast it again.
Perfect.
Yep.
This next action, I'm going to swing at him.
Swing at him. All right. You grab the bastard sword with both hands and swing
Out of
around
the
at
side
him.
and
Yeah.
then just round the other side.
Yep.
Chop his head off. We'll call it a 6. So
Sure.
it's 18.
18 is not going to be enough to hit him. You do have one more action, though.
Can I just punch this guy?
You certainly can. You have to take your hand off the grip, but you can punch him if you want.
All right, no, I'll swing the sword again.
Every once in a while, you just have to punch
somebody.
a
All right,
werewolf.
23 and 23
So 23 minus 5?
minus 5.
Yeah, so 18. 18 is going to miss, I'm afraid. You swing wildly, but don't manage to connect. Linnaeus.
Somebody kill this guy.
2 things I want to do. First, going to spend 1 action to cast some healing at you. You only get 1 point. Well,
That's
I
better.
tried. But second, I am going to pick a point behind him where in a 20-foot radius, it will not hurt my friends. I'm going to send a fireball on him.
All right.
Need some D6s.
So one thing that's a little tricky, and I want to double check here. So the heal, the only way you can do it at range is if you spend 2 actions
Oh,
to
that's
do it.
right.
So I think you're probably going to be moving and fireballing.
Yes,
or
we'll do that.
something
Well,
like
I don't have to move for fireball because
No.
the range is 500 feet.
Yeah.
So never mind, you're not going to get that 1 point.
That's okay.
But I'll come back to you later. I'm still going to do the fireball.
Oh no!
No, you lost 1 point of healing. Garbage.
If he dies by 1,
That would be so.
Oh, no, I have my tiny one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm picking up a spot I designate behind
Just kill this guy. I'll be
It's
happy.
not going to hurt my
all
friends.
right. You throw the fireball. I am going to make a reflex save. Oh, that's bad.
18 fire damage.
18 fire damage, and I rolled a 13 reflex save, which is going to fail.
No, you woke me up.
So, how much fire damage was it again?
18.
Yes,
18?
that number.
All right, the blast of flame roars, and you can smell the forest is now filled with the scent of like charred fur. It's really gross. It smells like burning hair everywhere now. The flame subsides, and the creature's underneath it, and it looks terribly burned, but it's still standing. And you do get to. Are you going to move after that?
Yeah, I'm gonna
All right,
move forward a little bit.
Liz.
Yes, I am going to use my hunt prey.
All right, you designate it as your prey.
Yes.
The hunter becomes the prey. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad about that.
Terrible.
I apologize to all the
And
viewers
then I
at
am
home for
going
that.
to
That's
take
all.
my 2 shots at it.
All right. So you get to do your twin shots.
I'm not, I guess I could use my hunted shot. I will do that.
All right.
Right. Because if I do that twice, I get 4 shots.
Well, you have to spend 1 action to hunt it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But this is also 1 action to shoot, and I should shoot twice for 1 action.
yeah. So you'll get all 3 shots. You can only do that particular thing once per round. You can only fire the 2 arrows.
Oh, you're
per round.
correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
Well, I rolled crap, so we'll see how that goes. Wow, that's bad.
You need different dice.
No, my dice are great. They just gave up on me. They saw the werewolf and got scared. Let's see.
Yeah,
I
you'll have a reroll.
do. I would like to hit this
yeah.
thing at one time, and it's
All right.
My job. For my
I'm gonna take that.
Really?
and I somehow managed to roll worse. No. All right, so that was a 21.
All right.
Fire.
The 21 is gonna
Literally.
hit.
Okay, the 21 hits, but the second shot on that one is worse. So I will not get that.
All right.
Let's see. 2d6 plus my d8 for precision. That's not a roll. Oh, not bad. That's 10 plus 3, so 13.
13.
For that 1 shot. The second shot doesn't hit, and then I'll use my 3rd action to.
The arrow hits him in the shoulder, and he cries out in pain.
Natural 20
Oh no!
Oh,
plus 14. That would be a
That's-
34 minus 9 is 24.
Certainly a
Nice.
critical hit.
Oh, 24 is a critical hit?
No, it's a 20,
because
so
it's
that
a-
that
all
bumps
right,
it to a critical hit. Yeah.
Ah! That is 5 plus precision, 6. So 11 times 2 is 22.
He didn't have very many hit points left. I think you only get the precision once, but I don't think it matters. Okay. The arrow sinks right into one of his eyes, and he just goes, and slowly his form begins to melt back into that of some poor hunter cursed by the moon. And he falls to the ground dead.
I feel a little bit better about the fact that
Iculus takes his sword out.
I'm going to run over. Dump some healing in you. This time. Oh, do 9.
Oh,
Get 9 points. That's a lot better than last time.
So we probably forgot to mention that we asked for some help. We did not expect that we were going to be.
We didn't think we would actually get any.
Are you telling us that you led him to us?
We thought he was friendly. He did not appear to be undead.
Guys!
He was not undead. He was a simple hunter. How are we supposed to know he was a werewolf?
We didn't exactly go into the
Which is
house.
why
We have no friends now.
Why
So-
we were supposed to be
so-
recruited.
I gotta go back to sleep.
So just
Go to bed for yourself, soul.
just behind you, the entire refugee camp has been woken up. Because there was a blast of flame, there was a howling wolf monster, there's a nightmare happening right in front of them, and they're just standing in the light, like of the torch, being like, "Are we okay?"
Yeah, I find you can go back.
You're good.
And I just turns
You're
into all of them
good.
and goes, go to bed.
Falmer's got his sword out, and he's like, "Oh, well, they have it all in hand, everyone. They have it all in hand. Nothing to see here." And he's trying to get them to go back.
Some good has come of this, though.
We have rabbits that
We
can
have a
go
lot
photo.
of game at that shack that's up for grabs now because I think it's quite okay to trespass.
I'm going to sleep.
So to keep things moving,
Sorry.
you're able to check out the shack. There isn't really much of value here, but there is some food and some supplies.
Herbs.
Yeah, a little bit of herbs, some seasonings
Actually
and stuff.
flavor a decent
those.
stew.
Yeah.
I want some.
So you're able to check that out and get that. He also has some gear on him, including a quiver that you quickly come to realize is filled with some magic arrows. There's 6 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am a bee. Listen, Yay.
These are called vine arrows. You're able to identify them. I would normally make you make a check, but you're definitely going to make it, so we're just going to skip that part. And what these do is when you fire a vine arrow at someone, it splits and turns into a whole bunch of vines that wrap around them and make them slow and make it hard for them to move around. So it's good at immobilizing a target. You fire the arrow at them and it wraps them in vines.
Hey, listen.
But
can
I
have one of
imagine
those
that these
arrows?
are
Yours.
one use once they have been used.
Yeah, and you have 6 of them.
Sweet.
Can I get one of those arrows?
Do you want?
I'd love one of those arrows.
I have about. We will split them in half, as is. As
Charmed
is
you
appropriate.
are.
You can have 3 of them.
So these conversations drag on to the night a bit. Eventually, you manage to go back to bed and get some sleep. The next day, you wake up with a renewed sense of urgency. Whatever triggered that alarm can't be far away now. If it moved through the night, even if they are moving slower than you, they're probably still on your heels. The rest of the day passes by in a blur. Liz, I need you to make a survival check to help guide the group successfully.
Absolutely, it would be my pleasure.
All right.
But I really wish that my dice would wake up. Hello.
Yeah.
It is not time to go to sleep yet. That would be 19.
A 19. All right.
Great for me.
Not particularly good. No, you end up going down a number of dead ends and kind of blind directions. You can take the no direction spell, right?
Wanderer's Guide.
Oh, you have Wanderer's Guide. What's
I do
that
have
do?
Wanderer's Guide.
Yeah.
So, until my next daily preparations, I call upon the Beyond to guide me on my route, or I think I would probably just call upon Sarah and Ray to
Absolutely,
guide me on
yeah.
my route. I choose a destination, and I receive an inspired route to that destination, and I also allow my allies to travel overland with me and reduce the movement penalty from difficult terrain by half for the duration.
At first, you were
That would
worried
have
about
been
it.
Very nice to know earlier, but thank you so much.
That's why I went to sleep.
So helpful.
That's why I went to sleep. I didn't have it prepared before.
All right.
I
With
appreciate you so much.
Serenray,
Still needs a nap.
do.
I grasp Linnaeus' hand and give it a little peck.
With
You are just so charming. Thank you so much.
With Saren Ray's guidance, you're able to make relatively good time traveling over land, heading south, faster and faster now, being able to avoid some difficult terrain. Does that spell last for a little while?
Until my next daily
Oh
preparation.
yeah, that's a good long time.
Day.
So you make fantastic time. As a matter of fact, at one point in time, you reach a high point in the Fangwood. It's a clearing, and there's a bit of a hill, and you're able to kind of climb that clearing and get a look of the land beyond. You've covered fantastic distance today. The Fangwood is a big forest, but it's not insurmountable. And in fact, to the south, you can see just the first plumes of smoke from a town. It can't be too far off.
Do they look like a normal smoke?
It looks like normal, like wood smoke. There are little tiny wisps from chimneys. It doesn't look like a black plume of a town burning.
No
Can
conflagration.
I see the roads from here at all?
No, the you can see the treetops. That's just canopy. You're wondering if you can see the road to the east or to
Yes.
the west.
I want to see if I can
Yeah, you can't see that.
any birds being disturbed anywhere.
So you
very
turn
specific.
around and you look to the west and you don't see anything like that. But you look to the north. There's something that way.
No, how close?
Just as you no, Kassen's to the south.
Oh, thank God.
But just as you look to the north, you see entire flocks of birds take off and take wing to the south. And it looks like it's a good distance away, maybe 20, maybe 30 miles. Like it's far away. It's, you have a hill with good vantage, so it's near the limit of your sight. You've been traveling very well today. Everybody seems very invigorated to get moving, but whatever it is still following you.
I
Now-
out to everyone.
At the rate you're going, you've probably made up, like, that spell shot you forward and made it much easier to travel. So you've probably, like, made it so it's, like, at least a couple days behind you now, or at least a day behind you or something. You're not sure.
Since we had the aid of that spell, is it possible that I could have kind of lagged behind just a little bit to sort of keep the evidence of our passage
You could.
clear?
Yeah, you could. You can do a little bit of that, but if you do too much of it, you will fall way too far
I don't want to do
behind.
too much, but every now and again I want to just stop and kind of break the trail, as it were.
Sure. All right. Yeah, and that sort of stuff may help a lot. You don't know. You're not even sure what's following you, but there's something back there. You continue traveling.
Using as possible to follow us.
You continue traveling. You don't think you can make it to the town by nightfall. It is very late in the day now, but you're close. You're definitely going to make it there probably mid-morning the next day. So as you continue making your way, it's getting late and folks are starting to look tired. You want to search for a camp, or what do you want to do?
I want to put another alarm out
Okay.
behind us.
All right.
Are we like, can we even see the town?
No, it's kind of far away up ahead. I mean, if you marched until like midnight, you might get there. But the townsfolk, or sorry, not the townsfolk, the refugees don't look like they can march till midnight. There's too many people who are
No.
old
It's
and
just sort of
malnourished.
Like, if they're like, if there was some sort of thing happening, would the town see us, or like we could see?
If there was something catastrophic happening in the town, you might have seen it from the hill. But
Yeah.
I mean, you just saw like wood smoke coming from chimneys and stuff way off in the
Okay.
distance.
So they might see us.
Not really. I mean, you look like a large caravan, and that's it, right? I mean, and you really only have one wagon and a bunch of people, so you're not very noticeable, unless you're trying to follow the trail. I mean, you could start a huge fire.
Sure.
That would be very noticeable.
Okay. No, I don't want to do
All
that.
right.
Just thinking aloud.
All right.
I think I might do some foraging to kind
Okay.
of supplement our stew. Perhaps we can make a decent rabbit stew or something.
Sure. You still have a good amount of food stores left. Actually, you're in pretty good shape, especially after the hunter's shack, and that. So I mean, you can, but I don't know that you need to. There's probably enough food for today and tomorrow.
Then I will relax for a change.
All right.
Help set up camp.
All right. Folks, set up camp.
I need to rest. I need to,
All right. Well, you actually can spend some time. So there's a little bit of a trick. I'm gonna teach you a little trick of the game. You can spend time, and every 10 minutes you can cast Lay on Hands on yourself and heal 18.
Whoa!
So if you sit there for an hour, you've just regained 90 hit points. So you're back. You're back to full.
Okay.
I would like to sit with him as well for a while to medicine, just to make double sure. You're not
So
gonna
so
turn into
here's
a
the
werewolf.
thing. Here's the thing. As far as hit point damage, everyone's back to full.
Yeah.
You can easily solve that problem with when you camp.
Okay.
You have enough healing resources. This group is pretty healing resource rich.
Yeah.
So you're able to heal everybody back up. That's not a problem. You also want to spend some time with him and check for disease. Yeah, we'll make some rolls for that. But for right now, you're not quite sure.
Okay, and I'm also going to keep an eye on this one.
Absolutely.
As well, just in case.
So
How are you feeling?
you all do watches again?
Yeah.
Same watch schedule?
Patrols.
All right.
It's not quite dark. We sort of stopped not quite when it was time.
It
to
was
camp,
it was
right?
it was almost
Almost
nightfall.
dark.
Yeah.
So
Still
I'm
have
doing
my
more
alarm.
patrols.
Sure.
For 8
And-
hours.
Great. So you're all able to make camp. You set up watches. Who is on third watch?
I want to say it's probably me.
No?
I could do it with you.
Okay.
Right. So the two of you are on third watch. It's got to be like 3 a.m. or something at this point in time. Your alarm spell came and went and was never triggered. So whatever it is, isn't that close. It's possible it got lost. Possible it just isn't moving that fast. Who knows? You might have gotten lucky and lost it entirely. Maybe you're on your own now. It's about 2 a.m. And the two of you are sitting there, and all of a sudden you smell smoke.
Smell something. Do you smell that?
Yes.
And you hear a crackle, and all of a sudden you notice light.
Where?
So, you look over to, so you have your wagon, you have tents, you have enough tents that, the food stores and stuff can get moved into a tent. That way people can rest and stuff. Sorry, not moved on a tent. It's kept on the wagon. Everybody else is sleeping in tents. And you look, and from the light, the wagon is on fire.
What?
What?
Yeah.
I'm going to take off my cloak and run over and start smacking it down.
All
What
right.
do I see? Like what? I can't see much in the dark, but what can I see by the light of the fire?
Well, so you can see that the wagon itself is on fire. You have no idea why or how, but the wagon is on fire.
Do I see Lucky anywhere? Did I keep a track on where he's been lately?
You're not sure. You think he's in one of the tents, but you're not sure which one.
I'm going to
Because you weren't on second watch, so
I'm going to wake
All right.
Omelette,
All right.
since she has keen eyes in the dark. Omelette.
Oh, right. Hello. Okay.
I didn't
Oh,
want
is it?
We
I had a watch already. What's going on?
to. The wagon is on fire.
Are the horses okay?
The horses are fine.
The horses aren't tethered to the wagon at night.
Oh,
That'd be
thank God.
cruel. All right.
That is
So,
terrible.
so
But they're spookish.
do any of you have any ability to create water or anything like that?
No, but I was going to ask you. I have chill touch. Can I?
Nah, it doesn't do enough. No.
Didn't take that one.
Are we near that river there?
Darn it.
No, you're way too far away.
I mean, I have my water skin, but I don't think it's enough water to
Might be better than nothing.
My cloak
I'm
helping
going to
full.
uncork my water skin and start just.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any sand?
You make
Sand
your way
is
over
another
there.
good way to do this.
Oh, good idea. I'm going to start scooping sand on it.
Only have
All
a
right,
golem.
so everyone starts kind of going off into a panic. And Sir Falmer kind of, you see him feel and you feel him kind of touch your elbow and be like, point me at it. I can help.
Right in front of you.
He kind of looks, he's like, and he says, but it is great. And he makes his hand and water starts pouring out of the sky. And he's like, yes, yes. Did I get it? Is that all of it? And he's trying to put out the fire.
I think so.
And after a moment, all that you're left with is a smoking wagon.
No food.
What on earth has happened here?
And a lot of the food just burned up.
That is very unfortunate.
Smoked jerky at least.
In the aftermath, you quickly come to realize everyone's gotten up and you kind of take stock of the situation.
Who is here?
And
Who is
you,
not
you
here?
take a look around and there's no sign of Lucky.
That little bastard.
Gonna kill him. Listen, I'm gonna go back to sleep, and then I'm gonna pick up the locate item. I'm gonna find him. How about that? Maybe I can do that.
I'm going to go back to sleep and then we're going to go get some vengeance. All right, so
Little.
Track him
Under
right
the
this
beach.
moment. Are there charred remains? Did he just take the food?
you have no idea. There's charred remains of
There's
food.
charred-
Yeah.
What? Why would he do? What that?
He was being vindictive.
What? Oh, we are
Because we
kinda
scared
bullied.
him.
He didn't like it when I.
Oh, that's right. There was all the bullying. All right.
He deserved it.
That is fair. The next morning, you're able to get up. There's no way you can track him in the dark. Wherever he went, he's gone.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Got good eyes.
Later.
So you're able to wake up in the morning and pack up, and it's kind of a dour breakfast because there really isn't much food left and everyone has to go hungry. But fortunately, you're not far away. You begin your march, heading south, and just as morning begins to fully bloom, you crest a clearing, and there the forest has opened up, and off in the distance, you see the small, walled town of Kassen. All right, and that is where I'm going to end today's adventure.
Kill him. Kill him.
I want to thank all of you for watching, and I want to encourage you to be here next week for another exciting session. I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. You can learn more about the game at Pathfinder 2nd Edition. The core rulebook and bestiary, along with several adventures and accessories, are available right now from Paizo.com or your favorite local game store. If you want to watch more of my adventures, you can find me every Thursday running Oblivion Oath, the Pathfinder Office campaign on the Paizo Twitch channel at twitch.tv/official Paizo. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.